Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Here's the first pitch. Hot shot. High fly ball. Deep right field. And this one is gone. A moonshot by Patrick Sullivan. And a hanging ball over the plate skies this one deep to right field. A 3-run homer in his debut, Patrick Sullivan.
And now we'll take you to the birthplace of baseball, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park.
Long hold, exhales, the 0-2. Hot shot past the diving second baseman Ricciardi. Another RBI single. They're going to round the next runner, and there will be no throw. A 2 RBI single by Brian McHale, and the game has been flipped through the momentum, and now the Suns lead it by a score of 5-2.
And now, here are your hosts for Pittsfield Suns Baseball, Billy Madewell, Steve O'Brien, and Colin Quinn.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to beautiful Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as the Pittsfield Suns get ready to take FCBL action against the visiting Nashua Silver Knights. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us along with the broadcast. My name is Billy Madewell. Tonight we have a special game up here in the booth as Colin and Steve, they do have the night off, but from Camp Winnetou and Indiana University, we do have Jacob Vincent and Tamar Scher. Both of you two, welcome, and hope you're going to enjoy the game.
Thank you. I think we plan on having a good time tonight.
And how about yourself? He won't speak for you.
No, I'm so excited. Thank you for having us. This is a complete honor. I'm excited.
It's going to be a fun game. Right now, it hasn't been so fun for the Pittsfield Suns as of late. Really haven't gotten the ball rolling since the All-Star break. Really betting around 500 when it comes to wins and losses, 4-6 in the last 10 games. But at least up here in the press box, we can have a little bit of fun. We're going to get right into it. Jacob, I believe you are going to be the one presenting us with a tripper on the FCBL. We're going to start with the current standings as they lie as we speak.
Yeah, you mentioned how the Suns, they really haven't been playing too well since the All-Star game. 6-6 since the All-Star game. And they're also 1-4 in their last 5 games with that win coming yesterday in the doubleheader where they won 14-5. And so a tough stretch for the Suns going into the playoffs in the next couple of weeks as the regular season ends on Sunday. But as we take a look at it, the Brockton Rocks on top right now, 28-21. They have a half-game lead on the North Shore Navigators. Right behind them will be the Bristol Blues, 26-22. They're a game and a half back. And then the Worcester Bravehearts, the Suns right behind them as they're a half game back of the Bravehearts. They're 2.5 games back of first. And so those are really the teams that can get within first with 4 games remaining on the schedule. Obviously, a lot of things are going to happen for the Suns to get that top spot. They're going to have to win probably every game and hope for a couple of losses from the Rocks. And then past the Suns will be the Nashua Silver Knights, who the opponent is tonight. They're 23-26. They are 5 games back of first. And then at the bottom are the Westfield Starfires at 15-34, pretty much out of contention and probably in that last spot for the playoffs. So those are the standings for the FCBL that we have tonight.
Yeah, for the Westfield Starfires, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for the Suns, the Westfield Starfires were eliminated back last time the Pittsfield Suns faced them back on the 24th last week. And that was a tough one for Westfield to swallow. Not only did they lose 13-12, at one point they were leading 10-2. Suns came all the way back in the most improbable comeback in Pittsfield Suns history. They won, and not only did they win on a walk-off, not a walk-off, but coming all the way back, they also eliminated the Starfires that game as well. A tough year for the Westfield Starfires. Again, it is their first year in this league. It's a brand new team. It's not going to be a lot to say, but really bashing a team that's in its first year and not doing quite as well as any other team, it is unnecessary. It's their first year. Every other team has had a first year. Every other team has had a down year. Yeah. And for the Pittsfield Suns really going up against the Brockton Rocks, and they're going to need help from them. They're going to need help from the Brockton Rocks by not facing them. Yeah. That's what the Pittsfield Suns need. The last time that the Pittsfield Suns won, and it was their only victory, was a walk-off home run derby winner. That was tough for the Suns. They won just barely as the ball hit the very top of the wall and then went out of the ballpark. That was the only time that the Pittsfield Suns have beaten the Brockton Rocks this year. Certainly a kryptonite, but we're going to go into games that were played yesterday with the Pittsfield Suns having a double dip out in Westfield.
Yes, sir. The Starfires actually took game 1 of that doubleheader 5-1 in that first one. But then the Suns turned it around in the second game of that one, won that one 14-5, and they were led by the first baseman today, and he was the first baseman yesterday, and Matt Valente in 5 at-bats. He had 4 hits. He scored 3 runs. He also had 6 RBI on the game, so a big game for Valente in that one. Going through 2 hits for Kronk, who was playing center field in that one. Coley had 1 hit, scored a couple of runs. Bodges also a couple of runs, and Peterson a couple of runs as well. So a big game for the Suns in that one, winning 14-5 in that doubleheader. That was the second game. Elsewhere around the league, the Navigators lost to the Bravehearts 10-6 in Worcester, and then the Brockton Rocks took down the Bristol Blues 3-2 in 10 innings in that one.
And now we're going to be going into games that are happening today. And as we already know that the Pittsfield Suns are taking on the Nashua Silver Knights, but what else is happening around the league?
So the Bristol Blues will be taking on the Brockton Rocks in Brockton. As we said, the Silver Knights taking on Pittsfield. And then also the North Shore Navigators will be in Westfield taking on the Starfires. Forgot it for a second there.
Nothing to worry about. I do have to say, I really do love the name Westfield Starfires.
It
really
embodies
the city of Westfield, which is one of the main reasons why they went to it. Great concept, great logo, great name. Just not a great season, but again, it's their first season.
Right.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, had an exclusive stand-up interview with DH and catcher for the Pittsfield Suns, Matt Malcolm. You're listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
In times like these, violence in our schools is a reality, so it's important to know what to do if a dangerous situation arises, and also how to prevent it. Kids, never bring a weapon to school, and if you see a student with one, or even hear someone talking about having a weapon, report it immediately. If something doesn't seem right or look right to you, speak up. If someone you know is showing signs of anger, or if you are feeling out of control, tell someone. If you feel threatened or bullied, tell someone. Violent acts often start out as small disagreements. Tell a parent or teacher if you see an argument taking place. It's better to let someone know about a disagreement before it gets out of hand. Let's put an end to these tragedies. Ask your school to adopt an anti-violence program. Visit ncpc.org to learn more about how to keep your school safe. That's ncpc.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney on behalf of RAD. If you're drinking, you can't drive my car or any car. Remember, if you're partying this holiday season, don't drink and drive. Got it? It's just not worth it. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Now standing with catcher for the Pittsfield Suns, Matt Malcolm. Matt, how's it going today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Suns, not so hot. Practically the opposite of the weather right now. They're 1-4 in the last 5 games, 4-6 in the last 10. You guys are slumping right now at the wrong time, as right now you've dropped to 5th place. What has been wrong for the Suns right now? Is it just a slump, or is it something further?
I think it's a slump. A lot of us have been – it's very hot. A lot of us have been lazy. Pitchers not throwing strikes. Hitters not getting into good counts to get good at-bats. The little things that all pile up and have caused us to have a little slide 10 games.
So with the nitpicking, again, we've already talked. The Pittsfield Suns were at one point in time, they were in first place a couple weeks back. Since the All-Star break, really 6-6, really 500 ball. In 5th place going against the Nashua Silver Knights, who now are in 5th place. And instead of having not only a first-round bye or a home game for the one-game wild card, right now you guys are going to be on the away team. Is that tough to see that you guys have gone from the top, now sliding down the ladder?
It is tough to see. definitely brings morale low, but I also feel like it fuels a fire for us to maybe bring it around for the end of the season, hopefully do well in playoffs.
Now, with you being in the catching core, you've had yourself, Jackson Peterson, Andrew Fernandez, and now Matt Schneider. Matt Schneider, an intern for the Suns. He is now the third catcher. He's batting in the number 8 spot tonight, starting. What are your thoughts on Schneider from what you've seen?
Very good, very solid, sound, defensively very good. Still looking to get the bat going, but that's a given since he hasn't had as many at-bats as all of us this year. But really excited. He's been playing really good ball for us, holding it down by the plate, so can't ask for anything more.
Can't ask for much more than really all 4 of you gentlemen. But tonight, some things are going to be asked of you, and that is a win against this the Nashua Silver Knight team, coached and managed by BJ Neverett. You are in the DH spot tonight. What do you have to do, along with your teammates? What do you have to do to get the W today and get back on the right track?
I really feel just play loose, be patient in the box, get into good counts for the hitters, score runs, hit the ball hard. That's all you can really ask for. Just trust the instincts that we have. Try to get back up there.
Loose, get back to basics, get back in the winning percentage and winning streak. Matt Malcolm, catcher, current DH tonight for the Pittsfield Suns. Thank you for your time. Good luck out there.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back with the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone? Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Just had a meeting at home plate of the managers for the Pittsfield Suns. Matt Gedman, skipper for the Suns. For the visiting Nashua Silver Knights, BJ Neverett. Behind home plate tonight will be Brian Bernard, and on the bases will be Rich Gunton. Right now, it looks like a bit of some photography being put out over in left field by the manual scoreboard, which will be a perfect time for us as we're going to present to you the starting lineup for your hometown Pittsfield Suns, going top to bottom.
Absolutely. Number 7 is starting us off at right field with Jack Cooney. He is the first for the Pittsfield Suns. The second is number 1, Jack Kolumovic. He is at second base tonight, followed by third, number 23, Mark Coley. He is playing center field for the Suns tonight. Now on to number 27, Matt Malcolm, who is going to be our designated hitter for the night. Number 19 follows him, Dan Baruch. He is going to be in the left field, followed by number 12, Matt Valente. He is at first base tonight. Number 28, Taylor Beckett, is playing third. Number 21, Matt Schneider, is next at the catcher position. He is a new catcher. He is an intern for the Pittsfield Suns. And then we have number 5, Nate Cormier, at shortstop. And the pitcher for Pittsfield Suns is going to be John Morrison, number 17, to start us off.
For Morrison, he has been a phenomenal pitcher for the Suns, that being the All-Star. I don't need to say much more except for, of course, his stats. In 5 starts, 8 appearances, he has 3-1 with a 2.67 ERA and 33 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 23 hits, 14 runs, 10 of them earned, 19 walks to 45 strikeouts. And that's not even the lead for the team. Alex Price has that with just 2 more, which certainly he can eclipse in this game. If we've seen anything from Morrison, you know that he is a strikeout artist. We'll certainly see that out of Morrison, or at least expect that out of him. But now we're going to flip the script. We're going to flip the sides, and I'll give you the starting lineup for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights.
Start the Nashua Silver Knights off. It's number 8, Ben Irvine, who is the center fielder for tonight's game. Then followed by number 6, Dylan Jones, will be playing left field. Number 41, Kyle Sandstrom, follows in right field. Then we have Phoenix Hernandez at third base. Number 1, number 18, Jared Dupree, is going to be the designated hitter for the Silver Knights tonight. Then it will follow Jack Arend at catcher. He's number 4. Number 30, Mike Larocca at first base. Then number 5, Louise Attiles at shortstop. And finally, number 10, Connor Ballandini at second base. And our pitcher tonight for the Silver Knights will be number 25, Evan Kostopoulos.
Evan Christopoulos on the season for the Nashua Silver Knights. He has been there practically all season, and he's been a starter, and even has a complete game on the season. He's got 9 starts with a complete game under his belt. He's 4-3. A lot of decisions either made by Christopoulos on the win or the loss. He's got a 3.20 ERA, 45 innings pitched, 42 hits, 21 runs, 16 of them earned, 14 walks to 49 strikeouts. Maybe we might not see a lot of offense tonight because a lot of people might be swinging and missing by this heavyweight matchup by Christopoulos and Morrison. This very well might be a pitcher's duel between these two just by the sheer amount of strikeouts that these two have racked up.
Absolutely, and I think as a baseball fan, a lot of times you want to see that, whereas some newer fans, they might want to see some more runs, some more hitting going on. Myself, I think I'm more of a pitcher's duel type of guy. I love seeing them battle it out on the defensive end. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing the home runs and the hits and stuff, but I love seeing a pitcher's duel, seeing how deep they can go, and I guess we'll probably get something like that tonight, I think.
Either you've done your homework by listening to me way too much, or you might find your spot in here in the press box a little bit more permanent. I'm the exact same way. I do love the long ball just as much as any other person, but really I'm just an old school guy. No DH, the pitcher should hit. And, for the Suns, really seeing a lot of the pitching dueling. It's been. We're going to listen in to live lineups by the public announcer, Mike Heck. You've been listening to the Pittsfield Suns pregame show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Number 7, Jack Cooney. At second, the second baseman from Pensacola State College, number 1, Jack Kalumovich. Batting third, the center fielder from the University of Rhode Island, number 23, Mark Coley. Batting fourth, the designated hitter from Eastern Connecticut State University, number 27, Matt Malcolm. Batting fifth, the left fielder from Boston College, number 19, Dan Baruch. Batting sixth, the first baseman from Boston College, number 12, Nat Valente. Batting seventh, the third baseman from Princeton University, number 28, Taylor Beckett. Batting eighth, the catcher from Assumption College, number 21, Matt Schneider. And batting ninth, the shortstop from Nichols College, number 5, Nate Cormier. Tonight's starting pitcher for the Suns from the University of Rhode Island, number 17, John Morrison. And ladies and gentlemen, if you could all please rise and remove all hats as we honor America with the singing of tonight's national anthem. Performing tonight's anthem, please welcome our good friend, Brian Flagg.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Once again, another fantastic rendition of the national anthem. This one by Brian Flagg, good member of the Pittsfield Suns, former food and beverage director. But that's enough about that, as we want to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all set for Pittsfield Suns baseball as we once again present to you the starting lineup for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights.
To start us off, number 8, Ben Irvine. It will be center field tonight, followed by number 6, Dylan Jones, who will be a left fielder for the Silver Knights. Number 41, Kyle Sandstrom will be in right field. Number 1, Phoenix Hernandez at third base, followed by number 18, Jared Dupree as a designated hitter. Number 4, Jack Arend at catcher. Number 30, Mike Larocca at first base. Then number 5, Luis Atilis at shortstop. Number 10, Connor Ballandini at second base. And finally, the starting pitcher, Evan Christopoulos, number 25 for the Silver Knights.
Right now, the Pittsfield Suns do have their pitcher, John Morrison, as we present to you the starting lineup in terms of the defensive alignments for the Pittsfield Suns.
To start off, we have pitcher John Morrison, number 17 for the Pittsfield Suns. Then the catcher for the Pittsfield Suns, number 21, Matt Schneider, followed by number third base for the Pittsfield Suns, Taylor Beckett, who will be number 28. Then Mark Coley, number 23 at second base, followed by Matt Valenti, number 12 at first base. Then we have Jack Cooney, number 7 in right field. In center field, we have Mark Coley, number 23. And finally, number 19, Dan Baruch.
That's a defensive alignment for the Pittsfield Suns. Outfield dimensions at pulled outfield at Wacona Park come as follows. 310 down the left field line, 377 in straightaway left, 374 in dead center, 403 the power alley in right center field, 305 down the right field line. As leading things off for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights, that is a center fielder number 8, Ben Irvine. As we take a peek at Irvine and now his season has fared him pretty good. He's third on the team in hitting, 280 hitter, no homer, 16 RBI. As play balls his home plate umpire, Brian Bernard, and here's the first pitch of tonight's contest. Flashing bunt. This one misses upstairs and in. This ball game starting off at 6:38 p.m. Count is 1-0. Morrison with a slow wind, the 1-0. Hot shot going into right. Coming in is Cooney, but it's going to be in front of him for a base hit. So there's a good way to get the offense going on a weak line drive going into right.
The left fielder, number 6, Dylan Jones.
Left fielder number 6, Dylan Jones, will step up to the plate now. For Jones, he's second on the team in hitting, batting .315, 2 homers, 36 RBI. He is up there in RBI in terms of a league lead. Right now, he sits at second behind Pittsfield's own Jackson Peterson, who has 38. From the stretch, Morrison fires the first pitch. Just missing low over the outside part of the plate. The count is 1-0 here to Jones. Morrison checking on first and fires the 1-0. Also low, and the count is now 2-0. Morrison throwing nothing but balls right now except for the base hit by Irvine. He's really got a set foot for his command and get it in the strike zone here. Here's a 2-0. As that one misses high, now 3-0. He's got right now 4 balls to only 1 strike, which was a base hit. Certainly got to turn it around.
And we talked about how this might be a pitcher's duel throughout the game. Already seeing some offense coming from the Silver Knights early.
3-0. That one hits the inside corner just barely, and the count is now 3-1. Jones on first, rather at home plate. Being the all-star member, as this one's a bouncer to second, takes a weird hop. Glumvik throws over to short for 1, over to first, and they got him. A 4-6-3 double play. Quickly erases that offense, and now there's 2 gone.
Right fielder number 41, Kyle Sandstrom.
Right fielder number 41, Kyle Sandstrom, will now step up to the dish with 2 gone and everything erased. That'll be the all-star outfielder for the Nashua Silver Knights. Sandstrom is their best hitter average-wise, .317 hitter, a homer, 18 RBI. He's got a good ratio of walks to strikes. He's got 32 walks if you count 5 more with a hit by pitch. 27 strikeouts. First pitch, good breaking ball as that one catches the outside corner, called strike. 0-1 as the sun is really starting to dip down. I'll say this firsthand, don't be surprised if we have a sun delay today. Which is a point of topic we'll get to. The 0-1, same pitch, this one further in. Now the count is 0-2. For both of you, this is your first time up here in the press box, and this is the first time you're going to have to battle the sun more than the players down there.
Absolutely.
This is going to be tough. Have you been here when there's a sun delay?
I have not.
We have both. We're first timers for the Wacona Park.
This one driven deep to right. Going back is Cooney towards the wall. He'll jump up and make the grab. From our angle, it looked like he almost robbed a homer. It was almost there, but a bit of warning track power. That is going to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We now head to the home half of the first, as there's no score between the Nashua Silver Knights and the Pittsfield Suns, as we present to you the starting lineup for the Pittsfield Suns.
To start off, number 7, Jack Cooney in right field. Number 1, Jack Kolumovic will follow. Number 23, Mark Coley will follow him. And then the fourth batter for the Pittsfield Suns, number 27, Matt Malcolm, who will be the designated hitter of the night, followed by number 19, Dan Baruch in left field. Number 12, Matt Valenti at first base. Then we have number 28, Taylor Beckett at third base. Number 21, Matt Schneider, who I said is the catcher, the intern for the Pittsfield Suns. And then finally, number 5, Nate Cormier. And he is the shortstop for the night for the Pittsfield Suns.
Evan Christopoulos on the mound for the Silver Knights. Again, big K record. He'll be on the mound, but we're going to give you now the defensive alignments for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights.
Absolutely. To start us off, as you said, number 25, Evan Christopoulos will be the pitcher for tonight's game. Then followed by the catcher, number 4, Jack Aaron for the Silver Knights. At third base, we have number 1, Phoenix Hernandez. To the second base, we have number 10, Connor Ballandini. And at first, we have number 30, Mike Larocca. At left field, we have Dylan Jones, number 6. At center field, we have number 8, Ben Irvine. And finally, at right field, we have number 41, Kyle Sandstrom.
For the Nashua Silver Knights, they're coming out in their road dark digital uniforms with a gray pattern on the outline. Nashua Silver Knights on the front, embroidered with gray. Same with the numbers on the back. They're just a solid gray marker edged out in white. Gray pants with a black trim down the sides. Black cap with a red brim and the Silver Knight logo as a cap insignia. For the Pittsfield Suns, coming out in their home white uniforms. Initially, they come out in their black mesh uniforms. Not a great time to break out the black just because how hot it is. White uniforms, black Suns edged out in yellow on the front. Same with the numbers on the back. Red numbers on the left abdomen. White pants with a black trim down the side. Black cap, black brim with the Suns P logo on the cap insignia. As leading things off is the hometowner, the right fielder, number 7, Jack Cooney. And for Cooney on the season, he's batting .263 with no homers, 9 RBI, 20 walks to 16 strikeouts. Good ratio there when you have more walks than strikeouts. First pitch. That's in there. Just painting the black there just as much as his uniform is Christopoulos. The count is 0-1. With a nod, a slow wind-up. The pitch from Christopoulos. This one kicks up some dirt. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike.
And what might make this game go even quicker is I think both these pitchers work very quickly, which is great for the batters, too. They can get in a little bit of a groove, and for the pitchers as well.
The 1-1. This one caught on a miss as he was chasing this one low and away. It went low and middle in. Count now 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Cooney. With the nod, Christopoulos has a sign. The slow wind, the 1-2. Caught on a miss. Actually foul tipped back into the mitt. That'll be a strikeout. And we are expecting strikeouts. That's number 1 and 1 batter face for Christopoulos. Second baseman number 1, Jack Kolumovic. His second season with the Suns. Has Kolumovic batting .283 in 29 games. Now his 30th. A homer, 9 RBI. wind up and the pitch to the lefty. Caught on and missed. Count is 0-1.
Yeah, Billy, that sun finally starting to get below the
That's
windows
what I was
here.
going to say. You can see it right now.
It's going to be tough for us. I have transitionals on my glasses, but, well, it doesn't help that much. Pitch misses outside, maybe low as well. The count is 1-1. So we've already established, Jacob, you are a old school fan, much the same as I am. At least you'd like to say so. Here is the 1-1. Hits the inside corner. Called strike 2. Tamar, are you a defensive heavy or offensive heavy person?
You know what? You asked me that, and I started by saying offensive, and now I'm thinking I am more of a defensive person just because of how these teams are able to work together and what you can see.
The 1-2 that swung on a miss for strike 2. Again, another strikeout. And either it's the peer pressure that we're establishing on you, or it's the fact that Christopoulos is showing how much it is fun to see a defensive heavy game. Again, if you're into offensive heavy, don't worry. You can still enjoy some offense and some homers. It's just my opinion. I'm a big defensive person.
The offensive homers are like the big events of the game, what people often look for, but that the technicality the pitchers have is what is key to making a good baseball game.
Center fielder number 23, Mark Coley, will step up to the dish as right now he's really, really hot. He sees a first pitch called strike. Next pitch misses. Count is now 1-1. For Coley on the year, he's right now batting .327, 7 homers.
All right, not
29 RBI. That is a big number.
I think what's really impressive about him, too, is if he gets on base, he's a big base-stealing threat with 14 stolen bases.
Well, that one, he'd be stealing an extra slip going to BMC with a pitch that high over the batter. Count is now 2-1 as, well, I don't think it was going to be anywhere near swinging that one other than swinging his head out of the way. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 gone, just getting underway in Pittsfield. No score between Nashua and Pittsfield.
Ooh.
This one is a check swing, and that one really got a piece of Coley on the check swing. He's really, really hurting. Matt Gedman immediately comes down as Coley.
He's grabbing his wrist right now.
Yeah, he's in some real pain, and the trainer immediately going to come out. So right now, we're going to try to stall and take some attention away, hoping that he's all right. We're going to go over the games that are happening around the league. And also we're going to get some games that are happening around the MLB. That way we can at least get some attention there from Coley. Hope that he's all right.
Just looking around right now, it looks like in the bottom of the first are the Blues and the Rocks. Still 0-0 in that one, as well as the bottom of the first here at Wacona Park, 0-0 between the Silver Knights and the Suns. And it looks like the North Shore Navigators and the Westfield Starfires are still in their pregame. As that one. Actually, they're in the bottom of the first, The Navigators are up 3-0 in that one. So a quick start for the Navigators.
Calling me surprised. They're a fantastic baseball team. I wouldn't expect anything more. But why don't we go with a couple other games that are happening around the league, or MLB. Actually, we're not going to do that. It looks like Coley's going to come out of the ball game. There hasn't, I think, been an official ruling on the play on what happened on the check swing. I'm not sure if that was a foul ball, a hit by pitch on the check swing. I don't think it was marked.
I'd say my understanding is the hands are part of the bat. He was also making an attempt to swing the bat, but it looks like Malcolm is coming up to the plate. So if that's the case, a runner should be on first for the Suns.
On plate umpire Brian Bernard now talking with hitting coach for the Suns, Chris Barbarata, and it looks like there will be a pinch runner. It's an unfortunate series of events, but that'll put a runner over on first. And that'll be Dom Hughes, the pinch runner. So it looks like that's just going to be a straight-up replacement. Dom Hughes going to be at center field.
The designated hitter, number 27, Matt Malcolm.
So the DH number 27, Matt Malcolm, third in the league in hitting, .336 hitter, 3 homers, 16 RBI. And really the hitting core for the Suns this season has been bar none. For qualified batters, he is, tied for 5th Thomas Joyce of Westfield leading the league with 370. First pitch. That one misses upstairs. It looked like Christopoulos might have tripped or slipped during the throwing motion. The count is 1-0. And right now the eyes are on Coley, hoping that he's all right. Definitely out of the ball game for today, but just hoping that he's all right.
A big blow offensively, especially for the Suns with how hot he's been lately.
Count is now 2-0. And no slouch over on first is Dom Hughes either. Hughes is a pretty good base runner. First pitch misses up and in. 8 for 13 in attempts is Hughes. Not much on the amount of attempts that Coley has had, but definitely a threat over on first to steal some bags. And Hughes, the third of the Hughes brothers to play here in Pittsfield as well. Holding all the way, the 3-0 hits the inside corner, 3-1. Thomas Hughes, the shortstop and, well, pitcher as well. He was a two-way player. He played in separate years for the Suns. Eventually played against his younger brother, Hal Hughes, who is shortstop and outfielder. As this one's a slow chopper headed towards short. Scooped up by Achilles. Throw over to first in time. That will end the inning. And Dom Hughes over on second. Now headed back. Will probably go into center field. He is the youngest out of those three Hughes brothers, so they're all acclimated with Pittsfield. But right now it is a motion of the side being retired. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left. We now head through one full inning of play to the top of the second. No score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Nashua Silver Knights. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney on behalf of RAD. If you're drinking, you can't drive my car or any car. Remember, if you're partying this holiday season, don't drink and drive. Got it? It's just not worth it. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
Public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There is no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better.
Back to live action. The first pitch that misses upstairs to the third baseman, number 1, Phoenix Hernandez. A great baseball name is that, Phoenix Hernandez. Hernandez batting .245, a homer, 11 RBI. As the next pitch that's in there, a called strike. And the count now is 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, this is a big inning for Morrison, too. Let up the first 2 batters get on, the first batter get on, went 3-0 to the next guy, then got a big double play. There's another strike thrown in there. Now he's got to count 1 and 2 and quickly settling in here in the second inning.
It's a 1-2 count now to Hernandez. A lot of good motion now for Morrison now that he's got a couple outs underneath him. The 1-2, that one drops low. Schneider, the catcher, will able to scoop that one up. Again, this is not the Atlantic League. We're not going to be stealing first base here, but easy to get your bearings underneath you even when there's no pressure. But when it comes to pressure with runners on base, you'll really have to worry about it. 2-2, inside out swing, pushed foul first base side. And the count will remain at 2-2.
And I do see there's going to be a lot of pressure between Morrison and Christopoulos. You already can see Christopoulos is moving the game along really quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see how this inning goes with Morrison.
Here is the 2-2. Pitch misses inside, and the count is full now at 3-2. Yeah, it really sees for the pitchers, at least early on, that Christopoulos is really playing the chess match in his advantage, moving his rooks up early. But there's the first strikeout for Morrison. He's going to remove the bishop with his pawn, trying to get some chess lingo in here. First strikeout of the ball game for Morrison, bringing up the designated hitter, number 18, Jared Dupree. For Dupree, he is fourth on the team in qualified hitting, 269 hitter, 8 homers, which is tied for the league lead with Jackson Peterson, 31 RBI, which is also up there. And when a breaking ball misses outside, count is 1-0.
Yeah, and Dupree in the box as well. He swings at a lot of pitches. He's got 46 strikeouts on the season, leading the team in that category.
Now the 1-0. Hot shot headed towards second. Kolumovic in the outfield grass will throw over to first off balance and make a well-designed throw over to first to get the out. Really for Dupree all season long, it's really been typical Major League Baseball when it comes to all or nothing, home runs or strikeouts. We've seen it, but right now it's just a ground out.
But even in that ground out, he took a pretty big hack at that. I mean, he swung pretty hard at it, but hits the dirt right in front of him, which killed it, and a really good play by the second baseman and Blandini.
Catcher number 4, Jack Aaron, will step up to the dish. Aaron betting 220. No homers, 12 RBI. Pitch, whoa, that's behind him. Oh, thrown there by Morrison. So obviously no intent there. We saw a pitch over Coley. Now pitch got in, and now this pitch is behind him.
I think what's interesting here, Aaron just kind of look at him like, what the heck, man? Yes, he's even talking to him now. Christopoulos just wants, or Morrison, just wants him to get back in the box. He's ready to go.
A little hard feelings there on the miss pitch. The count is 1-0. Pitch, good curve, and it hits the outside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, and Brian Berger behind the plate doing a really good job of being consistent so far. He's been giving the pitchers, both pitchers, those outside pitches and inside pitches off the plate.
Morrison exhales, winds up, and the 1-1. Pitch misses outside, and the count now is 2-1. The hardest thing for the pitchers today, even with the amount of strikeouts and pure athletic ability by the pitchers, today's a hot, muggy day.
Absolutely.
There's going to be sweat. There's going to be missed pitches. This one is driven deep to right. Cooney is now going to come in as the wind is bringing it in. He will reach up and collect the final out of the inning on a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We now hit through 1.5 innings to the bottom of the second. No score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Nashua Silver Knights. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Type 2 diabetes is a serious chronic health threat in America. It affects tens of millions of people. Many people who have the disease don't know it. Diabetes can cause health problems such as heart disease, strokes, amputations, and blindness. Talk to your doctor, get screened if you're at risk, and learn how to avoid becoming one of the millions of new cases of diabetes each year. You can help prevent type 2 diabetes. A message from CDC and HHS.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Here at Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Billy Madewell, Jacob Vincent, Tamar Scher on the call. As we head to the bottom of the second, no score between the visiting Nashua Silver Knights and the Pittsfield Suns. Leading off the second will be the left fielder, number 19, Dan Baruch. For the Suns, the normal infielder and first baseman, Baruch, really been hitting the ball lately. 264 hitter, 3 homers, 15 RBI. As the first pitch catches the outside corner, 0-1.
And Billy, I told you this before the broadcast. Obviously, Baruch coming into this hasn't been to college yet, so his first year in the league. But the thing that was most impressive about him is that 94-mile-an-hour exit velocity in high school, in the 99.2 percentile in that category.
He's an amazing hitter when it comes to the bat speed. The count is 0-2 after 2 called strikes. Christopoulos has a sign. The 0-2 sets up outside, swung on and missed, and Baruch will dance with the catcher, Aaron, and that'll be a strikeout 2 on the putout, that being the catcher. So Baruch, the character known as Dan Baruch, with a strikeout, but a little bit more of a lighthearted strikeout. We'll bring up the first baseman, number 12, Matt Valente. Valente, huge game yesterday. Right now batting .253, no homers, 10 RBI. First pitch seeing that is pushed towards second. Blandini will gobble that one up at second, flip over to first with ease. Now 2 gone.
And you could tell in that this is slow grass for us. So you're going to see the infielders and the outfielders coming in and getting the ball. But that was a pretty good hit just to the wrong end.
That's what you call an atom ball. Good contact, but hit it right at him. So the third baseman, number 28, Taylor Beckett, will now step up to the dish. For Beckett on the year, he's been a corner infielder for the Suns. Offensively, however, he's only batting .119, 2 homers, 8 RBI, otherwise a fantastic defensive infielder. Here's a windup from Christopoulos, the 0-1. That one bounces in. Aaron finds that, flips it back, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Shaking off the sign is Christopoulos. Now has it. The kick and the deal, the 1-1. It's called a strike on the check swing, just hitting the inside corner. Either way, it would have been a strike on the appeal. I can almost guarantee you Rich Gunton would have said that he did swing, of which, from our vantage point, he did. Here's a 1-2. That one drops low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that inside pitch there on that check swing was very similar to what Coley had in his at-bat, where he got hit by the pitch, where it looked like he got hit on the wrist. Hopefully Coley is okay after that one.
2-2 breaks his bat, it sounds like. This one headed to short. Achilles grabs it, throws over to first in time. And we continue the sentiment of 1-2-3. Another 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Suns. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We now head through 2 full innings of play to the top of the third. Still no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Nashua Silver Knights. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Give yourself the gift of a comfortable retirement by setting some cash aside for yourself. Saving a little of your monthly income can be as affordable as the average holiday gift. If retirement is near, you'll want to start saving right away. If you're younger, begin saving now, and compound interest will help your retirement funds snowball. A great way to figure out how much you'll need to save for retirement is to learn how much you'll get from Social Security. Do that in minutes at www.socialsecurity.gov/estimator.
Did you know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
One on my way to lunch, one after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Top of the third, and it will be the bottom of the order. It'll be the 7-8-9 hitters, starting with the first baseman, number 30, Mike Larocca. He'll be stepping into the dish on the left-hand side. As we take a peek at Nashua and Larocca, batting .268, a homer, 12 RBI. First pitch against the lefty. This one drops low over the plate, 1-0.
Now I'm going to ask you this question because you've seen more FCBL, but Larocca coming into this one hasn't been to college yet. How much does a league like this help those type of players going into college?
It helps them immensely. The pitch that hits the inside corner, 1-1, and I'll give you an idea of this. Shortstop for the Pittsfield Suns, who is no longer on the team, having to go back home and, get ready for college. Shortstop number 40, Bryce Osmond. The 1-1, that one swung on, fouled off, and the count now is 1-2. Bryce Osmond was a highly touted prospect who is going within the first 6 or 7 rounds of this year's MLB draft. He said he wanted to go to college, and that was his number one priority. He dropped all the way down to round 30, after round 30, I should say. And for Osmond, he came here a month after missing live play. He struggled early on. He collected his bearing. I've never seen a shortstop with that much range, that much contact. The power was sometimes there. You saw flashes of it. Oh, called strike 3 on the inside corner. Larocca is gone, and that's the second strikeout. But for Bryce Osmond, along with his teammates, going to be teammates, to see the amount of sheer talent off of him and see him progress to get ready for college off of that, it's crucial to the development of any baseball player trying to get into Division I baseball, let alone JUCO. It's very good to see leagues like this and to see the progression of players. Some might not fare so well just because they haven't seen enough pitching. That time will eventually progress them. Count is 1-0 to shortstop number 5, Luis Attiles, as Attiles on the year is batting .252, a homer and 13 RBI is the pitch that misses just barely, and the count is now 2-0.
Yeah, Tilly's at his New England college. He'll be a senior in the fall. Batted .376 playing in that shortstop position, had 2 home runs and 28 RBI. So a really good player in college as well, and not translating as much into summer ball play.
But again, we have seen that where some people, they thrive. Other people struggle. You have to think, Summer League is coming right off a grueling summer, winter schedule and spring schedule.
And he's a player who went deep with his team, went to the Super Regionals as well. So he's been playing a lot of baseball since February and March.
And still, summer ball's not a break. It's back to back to back until you get to that playoff season.
That pitch misses, and that is a 3-1 ball. So that will walk Luis Attiles, bring up the second baseman, number 10, Connor Blandini.
The second baseman, number 10, Connor Blandini.
Blandini not having a great year. He's only played in 14 games, however. Right now, Blandini batting .140. He is 6 for 43 with a homer, 5 RBI. He's got 8 walks and 8 strikeouts. Looking at Attiles, he's only 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. He's definitely got the speed, but rarely used. First pitch on the outside corner, called strike, 0-1.
It's a slow couple innings out here. There's not a lot that the defenses have had to do.
That pitch is dead red down the middle. Called strike 2 to Blandini. Yeah, it's been a little bit more slower pace, not quick pace where you get the ball immediately, go back, and then fire it almost immediately. A little bit more of a slow, methodical pace here from Morrison, and especially with the output that he has to do. With a pitch like that and a beautiful fastball that hits the outside corner, there's a reason why Morrison needs to do that on a hot day like this. He's going to need to preserve the energy as much as he can because when you start pitching, you come to the peak, the apex of your performance athletically, and there's a slow decline, especially with baseball. It's a little bit more sporadic because you're sitting, then playing, sitting, then playing. It's tough for baseball.
Yeah, and you mentioned how it being a hot day as well, much hotter in 1, 2 o'clock time of the day. It was like 95 degrees here in Pittsfield, closer to 84, 83, but still very humid. So their muscles are going to get a little bit more relaxed, and it's going to be a little bit tougher to keep that energy up as the game goes on.
Well, we saw at the beginning of the game, the Pittsfield Suns were playing a little mini golf. They were loosening themselves up. They were having fun, enjoying themselves, and that's really important to do. Some low-key energy-building stuff before a game like this.
And to relax as well and loosen up the muscles, as we saw Jackson Peterson, Matt Malcolm setting up a mini golf station.
Right.
That pitch misses upstairs, and you both were the ones that pointed it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this is something, but what are they doing down there? They have a broken bat handle stuck into the ground. They built a little hole around it, and, well, they were hitting a baseball with a bat.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great idea. Me being a huge golf fan as well as a baseball fan, before the game, get a little practice in before they go out on the links.
That's something we'll talk about. I'm assuming you're a righty, correct?
Yes.
I had to assume there. 2-0, that drops low now, 3-0. Tomorrow, have you played golf?
I have not. Mini golf is my specialty, but
I'm with you right there. I'm 100% with you there. But which side do you hit from? Normal righty?
Definitely righty.
Definitely righty. Here's the 3-0. Oh, that misses high just out over the letters, and that'll be another walk. So it has been Morrison who's been flirting with strikeout, walk. Well, hopefully it will resume its pattern for the left fielder number 6, Dylan Jones, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. We'll get back into that by saying this. What do you think I am when it comes to golf?
Since you're asking us, I'm going to go with lefty.
I'm going to say righty. You got a lot of confidence in us being righties.
You're both right.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Growing up as a lefty, I was born left-handed. My mother didn't know what to do, so she tried to put me right. So I'm called ambidextrous, except I do have a dominant right hand. For batting, probably lefty, I would say, is my better. For golf, however, I drive better with my right, and I putt better with my left.
So you have two different clubs.
Here's the fun part.
Sides.
I only have clubs on the left side. Pitch misses outside, 1-1. I only have clubs on the left side, and the reason why is because I tried to do lefty. The course that I went to, they didn't have any lefty clubs to rent, so I had to start out going righty.
Gotcha.
And if you're asking what my handicap is, it's the max. I shoot for double par. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 gone, 2 on here for Morrison. He kicks and deals the 1-1. That one just hitting the lower outside corner. Good frame there from Schneider. He might have squeaked that one in there by Brian Bernard, the home plate umpire.
Now, I'm really impressed by Schneider stepping into this role as an intern, and he seems so comfortable out there already.
Really does seem a lot comfortable out there. He's used to being on the baseball field, but, well, not during playing. The 1-2, oh, just missing low. Great pitch, but broke a little too much on the vertical paint. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, 2 on. Morrison going to look in as he sets up the deuces wild pitch. He'll set from the stretch. Check second. Twice. And the 2-2. Swung on, and that one got away from the catcher, Schneider. He will throw over to first. Not in time. A throw over to third, and they got him. What a heads-up play by Valente over to third. And that will be a strikeout wild pitch. So technically, Morrison strikes out the side. What a play.
Not too many times you're going to see striking out the side like that. He gets 2 runners on, and similar to the first inning, he had a runner on, settled down a little bit, made his pitches, makes his pitch there, and Schneider did a good enough job to get to the ball, tried to make the play, and then a very heads-up play by Valente at first base.
That is some entertaining defensive play right there. That is what we like to see. Beautiful passes.
See, we're turning the corner on you tonight. Now you're more the defensive heavy. Okay, I like it. So in the inning, no runs off, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. We now head through 2.5 to the bottom of the third. Still no score between the Pittsfield Suns and the Nashua Silver Knights. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call.
So now after that wacky, wild ending of the top of the third, we now head to the bottom of the third. And here's a man who started a fantastic play, the catcher number 21, Matt Schneider. The intern is going to step up to the dish. First pitch, that misses low. Count is 1-0. Schneider in only 5 games played, he's 2 for 10. To be expected. He's got 2 strikeouts. Pitch that does hit the lower outside corner. Christopoulos with the 1-1. Ooh, shatters his bat. That all the way goes over to third. The pitcher has the ball. Throw to first is in time.
He wanted that out of there.
He might have to frame that one.
The shortstop, number 5, Nate.
Oh, they're checking if it's broken, which I don't think it is.
I think so.
So that will technically go down as a ground out to the pitcher as, well, that reminds me of a good old movie by Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore, where not the club went further than the ball, but the bat went further than the ball. The shortstop, number 5, Nate Cormier, will now dig in as the number 9 hitter. For Cormier, you'll see a first pitch swung on right to the third baseman, Hernandez.
And the weather's pretty good out here right now. You actually got the breeze. The sun is going down, but not in our eyes.
For now. I'll say that first and foremost, for now. Coming into that lineup, Cormier batting 188, no homers, 18 RBI. So he'll be out at third on a lineout, which will bring up the right fielder, number 7, Jack Cooney, who struck out swinging to begin the offense for the Suns. First pitch, trying to frame that one as errant, but it misses too far low, maybe a shade outside. 1-0 is the count.
Yeah, Cooney defensively has been really solid already this evening. Had to make a play on the, per se, warning track.
Chopper to third, but foul, and right there is Matt Gedman, the former Triple-A third baseman. So he's used to being over there.
As I was saying, Cooney making those 2 plays, the first one back at the wall and the second one coming in. And you mentioned how earlier we were talking off air, how the grass is a little bit longer here in Pittsfield, so it's going to be a lot slower, and the guys are going to be charging it on the defensive side of the ball.
So the count now is 2-1. And the pitch. Oh, a late strike call, just barely hitting at the knees. A generous call, and the count is now 2-2 with 2 gone. Christopoulos already has his sign as he looks to relax. And the 2-2. Setting up outside, but a swung going over to right field, but Sandstrom's right there on the fly out on a weak line drive. That is going to end the inning. And another 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 3 full innings, a third of the way through the contest. We head to the top of the 4th. No score between the Nashua Silver Knights and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Hi, this is Paul McCartney on behalf of RAD. If you're drinking, you can't drive my car or any car. Remember, if you're partying this holiday season, don't drink and drive. Got it? It's just not worth it. Doesn't make sense. Thank you.
Yes, I'm gonna be a star.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Now to the top of the fourth, after a wild top of the third, and how that one ended. It is the heart of the order. Sandstrom, Hernandez, Dupree going to be 2 up for the Nashua Silver Knights, trying to get some offense going because, well, we've only seen one hit in the contest, and that was back in the first actual batter. First pitch, that's a called strike on the lower inside quadrant against Kyle Sandstrom. The count is 0-1. Here's a windup from Morrison, the 0-1. That pitch misses upstairs, a ball and a strike.
Now, I know we've talked about Schneider a lot, but I want to bring up another point. Just watching him take infield there and then throw it down the second. The few times he has thrown down, he's thrown a couple of darts, and for only playing in 5 games, he's been really comfortable so far today.
Chopper towards second. Glove there by Kalumovic. Throw over to first. Got him by a half step. Kalumovic, really a pure infielder as a utility infielder. Can really do no wrong anywhere around the diamond, really. And now here comes Phoenix Hernandez. I'm sorry, just rolls off the tongue, and it is glorious.
Beautiful name.
I mean, not to say that, Billy Madewell's not a great name or anything, but
Phoenix just rolls off the tongue.
A little bit better than Madewell, especially when it's not the case. Phoenix, however, he is one of a kind, so there's a little bit of distinction with his name rather than mine. First pitch swinging, headed towards third, but it's foul. Good glove nonetheless there by Beckett. Count is 0-1.
We're finally starting to get a little bit of a nice breeze here at Wacona Park as well. It's starting to cool off just a little bit, and knock on wood, but the sun not too bad right now.
I'll do the physical knocking on wood for us. The good news is with the breeze right now, I've actually stolen a fan for a now PA system that does not work, so we're using a backup PA system. I stole a fan for, and I got a fan blowing on my legs right now.
Perfect.
The breaking ball that misses 1 ball, 1 strike to Phoenix Hernandez. Here's a windup and the 1-1 check swing. They're going to appeal. He did not go the correct call. The count is now 2-1. Morrison, again, I can't stress this enough. He's also a highly touted prospect other than Bryce Osmond, who was here. He was ranked 12th in Massachusetts for right-handed pitchers in the class of 2018 by perfect game. And URI, he's got 19 strikeouts in 20 2/3 innings pitched. Throws a fastball, changeup, a slider, and a curveball. His fastball tops out at 93. And after a generous cold strike 2, it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Hernandez. Wind up. And the 2-2 for Morrison. Swung on down the right field line. Fair or foul. Here comes the right fielder. He's going to slide. He's going to bang into the wall, but it goes out of play. Cooney's going to get up, and looks like everything's all set. Kalumovic, in the meantime, is going to go all the way to the right field wall, grab a ball, flip it behind his back to a pedestrian who threw the ball accidentally into the field of play. So he's going to get a little bit of a jog as the count remains 2-2.
I mentioned how Cooney last half inning when he was up to the plate has made a couple of nice plays out in right field. That time giving his full effort onto that one, slides into the wall and couldn't quite get there as it fell just over the wall.
Here's a windup for Morrison. Again, the 2-2. Pitch misses well inside, now 3-2. That one moved well in just as the clouds are moving well out. And the sun yet again is coming out to be the bane of our existence here in the press box.
We didn't knock on wood hard enough, I don't think.
Well, let's see, a metal box, wooden shelving. I mean, what else do you want us to do? Here's a payoff. Pitch misses well outside, and Schneider will have to retreat back and grab that for ball 4.
And like you said, it's been a bit of back and forth, strikeout, walk for Morrison.
The designated hitter, number 18,
Yeah, we've actually seen that. This is how it's ping pong between both of them. It was a strikeout, walk, strikeout, wild pitch, now walk. It's like Morse code for these two kind of outs, or these two type of plays rather. Jared Dupree with a runner on first, grounded out to second last time up, and this one moves low, 1-0. Yeah, that sun really starting to dip down. Can expect it really any minute now. Here's the 1-0. Pitch misses outside. Now 2-0. Sun delay usually starts around this time, around the 7:20, in between that and 7:35 times. Here's a 2-0 off the end cap of the bat. That's going to scare a few pedestrians because, well, it's second nature. Danger. I don't care if there's a fence there. Still want to get out of the way. So we're going to hear the crowd laugh at that.
Yeah, Billy, definitely 2 firsts for me today. Climbing up the ladder to the press box, but then also a sun delay, which is might be happening here soon.
I said 80%. We might get away with it, but again, that's 80% because, well, it's Wacona Park. The 2-1 is cut on and missed for strike 2.
Wacona Park celebrating its 100th anniversary.
Especially with the grandstands, really amateur ball being played here from 1892. Here's a 2-2. Pitch misses well in, but grabbing that one is Schneider. And a possible deke trying to get the runner. At least it looked that way to me. So Schneider looking like a seasoned veteran. Even trying to deke a runner.
Just being here at Wacona Park, it reminds me of whenever I played all the way back in my middle school days when I was 12, 13, 14 years old. Played at a park in Richmond, Indiana, which was an old minor league ballpark just like this one. Deep backstops, deep field out to left and right. And so bringing back a little bit of memories.
Here's the payoff. Pitch misses high, another walk. So 1 out, 2 men on for the catcher number 4, Jack Aaron, as here comes Brandon Shalikas to talk things over with John Morrison. The only difference, I think, between Indiana and here, just the wackiness of not only the sun delay, but for ballparks, have you ever seen a ballpark where center field actually comes in from the corner outfield?
That was actually the first thing I noticed when I walked up. I noticed how short that was, but then I also noticed how deep left center and right center were. 377 to that left center gap, 403 to the right center gap, and then the left foul pole and the right foul pole pretty much the same as many parks. But yeah, that 374 in the center is pretty short compared to most ballparks that I've been to.
But here's a close clip on it. Again, we've already talked about the tree line and the outfield. With that tree line, the wind actually comes from over the top and back in, so it's actually harder to hit it out to center field, right center field, than it is to hit in the corner outfield. I say that because with the wind bringing it in, it's hard to hit a homer. You're really going to have to put a lot of charge behind it. Here's the pitch, and that one is another ball to Jack Aaron. The count is 1-0, 2 men on, 2 walks already by Morrison in the inning. But the outfield and the outfield alignment with the barriers kind of looks like my head with my hairline. Looks like a widow's peak, which is, well, as exactly as you would think it would be. It's not ideal, but again, the tree line really brings in the character of it. Called strike makes it now 1-1. And again, last name of Madewell, M. I had my superhero tag on my head the entire time of my life. So I don't need an M on my chest. It's more on my hairline. High fly ball headed towards center. Going to chase that is Hughes and Cooney. Hughes will be calling off the center fielder, and the center fielder lost the tracking amount of outs, and that is going to put Hernandez over to third. Just a mental error, so now runners on the corners with 2 gone for Mike Larocca, who struck out looking to begin the third.
And Dom Hughes entered a little late as Mark Coley got injured early on in this game, so getting that play from him is huge, having him step into this role.
Unfortunately, it's the first time where he just forgot how many outs there were. As now it's Mike Larocca's turn. First pitch that misses upstairs. That pitch is in there against the lefty. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 gone, 2 on with runners on the corners. Morrison trying to get out of the jam here as he sets. The runner goes. The 1-1 swung on the hit and run attempt will go foul. The count is 1-2, and well, that one's right next to the batting cage. Let's see who can get to it first. Still waiting. And there's a youngster in a green shirt to collect that who even brought a glove.
Perfect. He's ready.
Morrison, the 1-2. Swung on, and again, my heart will skip a beat because that one's about 5 feet away from our crowd mic. The count is 1-2. As the pitch count goes up, my budget does not. If it were to hit it, yes, it would. Morrison again sets. Dupree goes off first. It bounces, and that's actually going to be marked as a stolen base on the 2-2 count with a runner being off with the pitch. So Dupree with a stolen bag. Runners on second and third now, so no fielder's choice attempt over at second. The only force out, bless you, whoever's down there. The only force out right now is at first. And here's a pressure cooker early for Morrison. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, 2 runners in scoring position. Deuce's wild pitch for Morrison as he sets from the stretch. Lifts and deals the 2-2. It's fouled off, and we'll go again to 2-2.
A really nice battle brewing here between Morrison and Larocca. Larocca on the season, he's been pretty good. Batting .268 with a homer and 12 RBI, and a big chance here to get 2 runners in. Only 1 hit being scored for the Silver Knights in this game.
2-2 is cut on a miss for strike 3. Tag not applied. The throw over to first is in time, however, so that's a strikeout, 2-3 assisted putout, and that will put an end to the threat as the Morse code between strikeouts and walks continues. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left. As we head through 3.5 innings of play to the bottom of the 4th, still no score between the Nashua Silver Knights and the Pittsfield Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Did you know the 3rd leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, we're talking to real smokers about quitting. Tell me when you smoke and why you smoke.
Eat, cigarette, kids, cigarette, dinner, another cigarette.
1 on my way to lunch, 1 after lunch.
And another cigarette, and another cigarette.
Have you tried to quit?
Yes. I become angry.
It ain't that easy. You can't just quit cold turkey. I tried.
What would you do different?
Actually having a plan and thinking it through.
You have to relearn how to live your life without a cigarette in your hand.
With the right plan, you can quit smoking. Free at becomeanx.org. X, a new way to think about quitting. Brought to you by X and the Ad Council.
Well, you just heard the PA announcer. That is the second baseman and number 2 hitter, number 1, Jack Kalumovic. He'll be taking in from the left-hand side. Following him will be Dom Hughes in his first plate appearance after replacing Mark Coley in the first. And Matt Malcolm will be in the hole, batting 3rd this inning. Christopoulos with the first pitch. That does hit the inside corner. Count is 0-1. Christopoulos, the 0-1, swung on a miss there as this one was in the dirt. Good late break on that one, and it looked like a sinking fastball from Christopoulos. The count now is 0-2. Christopoulos has a sign, winds, deals. The 0-2 misses well outside, and that was a fantastic transfer there by Aaron. Caught it way outside, behind his back, flipped it over to his throwing arm, and then threw it back to the pitcher. Sorry, but that was a thing of beauty. 1-2, just misses low. Aaron nods, saying good pitch, and the entire dugout says good eye to Kalumovic. Very close pitch.
Yeah, that was, you could tell even from up here, from our vantage point. We can't tell if stuff breaks too much, but that one you could tell broke right at the middle of the pitch.
2-2, swung on a drive going into right, and that gets down for a base hit, and the Pittsfield Suns finally have a hit after 3+ innings. Now in the fourth, that's a base knock for Jack Kalumovic.
The center fielder, number 34, Dom Hughes.
Now Dom Hughes, the center fielder, number 34, will dig in for the first time after replacing Mark Coley. Hughes batting 174, a homer, 4 RBI, 30 walks to 20 strikeouts, really making up for the average. He's been a very patient hitter, at least seeing 5 or 6 balls on average in any plate appearance. Hitting off first is Kalumovic, average size lead. And the pitch catches the inside corner. It's been consistent from home plate umpire Brian Bernard for pitches that close or on that line to be called a strike. So now the pitchers know where they can pitch, and the hitters know what is going to be called and what's not on the inside part. Pickoff throw back over to first. Nothing doing. Kalumovic, 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Hasn't attempted much, but he is a threat nonetheless. A shorter lead now to an average size lead or under average. This pitch misses letter high and inside. A ball and a strike here to the youngest Hughes brother.
And this is a big opportunity for Hughes as well. He's got a runner on, no outs, came subbing in for Coley, who has been so hot lately. And Hughes, his average might not be up, but you mentioned how he is very good at the plate, realizing what are balls and strikes. So if he can get on base or move the runner over, that would be huge for the Suns.
The 1-2 does hit the inside corner. Now the count is 1-2. Christopoulos shakes off the sign. Twice, checks over at first. Now we'll set from the stretch as he peeks over at first. The 1-2. Looks like a broken bat going out into right, and this will be caught by the right fielder. No throw over to first. Sliding back in is Kalumovic. And I don't think Sandstrom thought that Kalumovic was going to be off the base that far, which is why he made the catch and essentially gave up on the play over at first.
Yeah, and that would have been a pretty hard throw for Sandstrom as well. Coming in on the ball, making a good catch, but then he would have had to cross his body, throw across his body to first base. So it would have been a tough play, but if he would have tried it, it definitely would have been close.
And again, if he also threw it, you also have to factor in he might have thrown it away for rushing it too much. DH number 27, Matt Malcolm, grounded out to second last time up. Check on first. Setting from the stretch. And the pitch. Swung on a miss by Malcolm, 0-1.
A good off-speed pitch there. He was looking fastball all the way, got off-speed on the first pitch, and a little down and away action.
Malcolm is a guy you said was in contention possibly for MVP position.
With the amount that he's been hitting, the amount of RBI that he's driven in, he's battling right now with Mark Coley. As this pitch is in the dirt, gets away. That's going to advance Kalumovic on the wild pitch. Right now, Matt Malcolm, Mark Coley, and for the Pittsfield Suns, Jackson Peterson. And Peterson has the day off today. Peterson right now, I think, really peaking out as the number 1 guy, maybe Coley number 2, Malcolm number 3. I say that because Coley has the more overall stats. Malcolm has been just tearing the ball when it comes to making the contact.
Yeah, Peterson with those power numbers, 8 home runs, 38 RBI on the season, just been like you said, tearing the cover off the ball, same as Coley lately.
The 1-1 is swung on a miss for strike two, now 1-2. And Coley is, I think, a little bit more refined defensively as well, especially because he plays second base. And while he's playing second base, he's also playing right field at the same time. You haven't seen the play, you two, but he made a play where he was at second base. It was a fly ball with a right fielder lost. He literally ran from second base all the way to deep right field and made the catch. It helped that the ball was hit high in the air.
Yes.
The 1-2 misses low. Good grab there from Aaron. The count now 2-2. He also made a phenomenal play where he had to backpedal, then turn to his left shoulder backwards, jump up, and then across his body make the grab. A fantastic defensive outfielder, infielder, whatever you want to call him. He's a second baseman / outfielder, but either way, he's a great defensive player. We're just hoping that he's all right and just has a stinger today and nothing more serious. 2-2, that misses low. Now the count is 3-2 as Malcolm battles back. After a 1-2 count, it's now full at 3-2.
And you already mentioned how Beckett is a very good third baseman as well. The bat isn't quite there, but defensively he's been phenomenal. And then Cooney has already shown so far in this game out in right field that he can make a couple of plays and especially give out that effort even if it's a foul ball.
Even if it's a slide where you're banging into the wall, which thankfully we have a little bit more support behind because last year, the outfield wall shattered as well as the left field foul wall shattered. The 3-2 is down the third base line, just foul. And I do mean just. This one bounced just an inch side the foul line and then bounced over the bag and stayed foul.
And that would have been an easy run for the Suns as Kalumovic had a good jump on the ball as well. Easily would have scored if that would have been fair.
So once again, we'll go to a payoff pitch and double down on that payout. Christopoulos checks second over at Kalumovic, being held on by Blandini. And a pickoff motion towards second. He almost got a balk there because of a hesitation. Here's the payoff again. It's cut on a miss for strike three. That'll be out number 2. As this will bring up Dan Baruch, who lately on the year has been a phenomenal hitter. He started off very, very slow.
That's what we need right now. We're at 2 outs, so we need that power hitter to be able to hit it in that right sweet spot at this point in the game, bottom of the 4th.
And Baruch is a slap hitter as well as a spray hitter. He can slap the ball, have it go into right field. He can pull the ball or even just drive it dead center for a home run. But this one is in between third and short. They're going to round the runner. The left fielder, Jones, is not going to have a play. Tamara, you called it. An RBI single by the left fielder, Dan Baruch. And the Pittsfield Suns, they get their first hit a little late, but they also get their first run on the board. And the ball game is now at a 1-0 pace where the Pittsfield Suns take the first run of the ball game.
Yeah, right on cue. You call it tomorrow. And I got to say, I kind of want to be friends with Baruch with his walk-up song being God's Country by Blake Shelton, one of my favorite songs out right now.
Well, I'm sure for the both of you two, you saw the character that is Matt Malcolm.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Saying, hey, just let you know I had 4 homers yesterday. Can you rescore that?
Yes, at the start of the game, right before the game started.
And then Dan Baruch one-upped them by basically saying, oh, I went 5 for 5 with 5 homers. Great for an FCBL record, by the way,
yes.
But not good for reality. The count is 1-0 to Matt Valente, who grounded out to second.
Yeah, you can tell that Christopoulos not necessarily rattled, but a little bit more uncomfortable.
This one driven deep to right. In with Sandstrom. He's going to go all the way back, and this one's out of here. It tied him up, and it goes over the wall, and now the offense starts piling on. That's a 2-run shot by Matt Valente, and the Pittsfield Suns now lead it 3-0.
And we mentioned how Valente had a huge game yesterday, and the second game was a doubleheader at 4 RBI, and that one he picks up 2 more right now. The 2-run home run, making it 3-0. Valente with his hot streak still going.
Right, and they're 4-6 in their last 10, and they won their last game yesterday 14-5. So could this be where they turn it around so they can get into that playoff position?
that they really do want a first-round bye. If they can't get that, they do want to stay at home for that first game wild card play-in wild card game. If you lose that game, you're out. So that's crucial for them to have a home game, if not a bye. First pitch, that's dead red down the middle to Taylor Beckett. Count is 0-1. So a big blast for the Pittsfield Suns behind Matt Valente. As the next pitch is a curveball fouled back, and the count is now 0-2. Here's a windup and the pitch. Swung on yet again, fouled off on a looping foul ball.
So there is when we got the exciting home run that makes the offensive play what we want to see, what we want it to be.
The exciting part of the ball.
Exactly.
Really good two-out piece of hitting as well,
Yes.
with runners in scoring position earlier with a single. As this one, guess what? It's a repeat. It's another foul ball backwards. And we'll go again to 0-2.
So another good at bat here from the Suns. You mentioned how that with that 2-out approach, getting the runs on the board, and now another good 2-out approach here. 0-2 count, so he's got to hit off anything close. And Christopoulos, when he's got his curveball working, it's a nasty one.
This one is a slow curve, and that is swung on a miss. That'll end the inning, but not before 3 runs off of 3 hits, including an RBI single by Dan Baruch and a 2-run bomb by Matt Valente. No errors, nobody left on. We now head through 4 full to the top of the 5th, with the Pittsfield Suns taking the first runs of the ball game. They lead it by a score of 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
You must be your fairy godmother. Yes.
It doesn't take a fairy godmother to tell you that the right fit means everything.
Good heavens, child. You can't go in that.
Children under 4'9" need to be in a booster seat because they aren't ready for adult safety belts alone. Many parents miss the important step of booster seats.
Maybe you better explain things to him.
Booster seats raise your child up so that a safety belt designed for adults will fit and protect them properly.
Oh, that does make a difference.
Remember that 4'9" is the magic number, and get your little pumpkin there safely in a booster seat.
Hop in, my dear. Oh, thank you.
And like Cinderella, you can live happily ever after.
It's like a dream. A wonderful dream come true.
For more information, visit boosterseat.gov. This has been a message from the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Now the top of the 5th, and before we start the inning, we're going to give you a quick trip around the FCBL.
So the Navigators, I mentioned how they got up early on the Starfires in the first inning. It's now the top of the 5th in Westfield, and the Navigators are still putting on the pressure, 9-0 in that one. But I think the more important game, at least for the Suns, standings-wise, is against the Bristol Blues and the Brockton Rocks. Right now in Brockton, the Blues are up 3-0 in the top of the 5th.
In the last week, we could see that in this league, anything could really happen. So seeing what happens in that game, that outcome, that could mean anything for the Pittsfield Suns.
Yeah, it makes it that much bigger with Valente's 2-run home run right there to make it 3-0 as well.
First pitch hits the inside corner, but high, and the count is 1-0. Shortstop Luis Attiles walked his first time up. Was gunned down at third on a strikeout wild pitch where everyone was safe, but he overran it as this one is smoked out to center on a line drive, a nonchalant grab by Dom Hughes out in center.
Just hit right at him, took one quick step back, and then realized he was going to be right in front of him. Only had to move a couple of feet. Makes it pretty easy when you don't have to move too far.
He came in about, 2 steps and just nothing. Connor Blandini, the second baseman, will step up to the dish as he struck out looking. They actually looked at all 3 pitches for called strike. And he'll see number 4 called strike, 0-1. Next pitch, that's the first ball that he's seen today. The count is 1-1. The 1-1 does hit the inside corner. A good changeup for Morrison. Count is now 1-2.
This is a really good inning so far from Morrison. Starting to settle down after last inning, letting a couple runners get on.
At pitch just misses outside. Good eye there by Blandini.
We've seen that back and forth between innings. He'll get hot for a couple of batters, and then he'll get a little bit errant, walk a couple of batters, but now he's settling back down, which is great for the Suns with that 3-run lead.
That one shifted foul, first base side out of play. We'll go again to 2-2. Here's a 2-2. Pitch misses upstairs, and now the count is full at 3-2.
So as I was talking about right on cue, talking about how he had the walks last inning, he's already given up 4 walks on today's game. And a big pitch here with 1 out.
The 3-2 misses well high, and that's yet again going to be another walk for Morrison. And right now, he's been splitting his walks and strikeouts by having 5 strikeouts and 5 walks. He split it right down the middle. And this will be the leadoff hitter, the number 1 hitter, Ben Irvine, who is a recipient of one of those 5 said walks. This one is fouled off on the swing and miss, right back to Schneider. Count is 0-1.
And the sun finally out of the picture. A little clouds rolling in now, and a pretty comfortable night at the ballpark.
This one, a slow roller to first, a throw over to second for 1. Over to first, it's thrown away. It crossed up Morrison. Looking like he's all right, so that's just going to be a fielder's choice 3-6, and it'll be Irvine who replaces Blandini. Again, you can't assume an error, or you can't assume a double play, or you can't get an error off a play like that.
It was a really good effort by Morrison to get over there, especially with the big body that he is.
He's definitely up there, I believe 6'3".
Yep, 6'3", 205. So making that run over for pitchers a lot of the times aren't necessarily that easy, but I like the effort given out. We've already seen from Cooney, a lot of effort. Now he's got to wipe off a little bit of the sand, the dust off his back, and hop back up there on the rubber.
Dylan Jones with the first pitch, missing inside. The count is 1-0. An odd day for Dylan Jones. He's grounded out on a 4-6-3 double play. He struck out, reached first, but then get caught napping a little bit too far off the base for the final out of the inning was Luis Attili's out 2-3-5. As this one's a grounder to short, flip over the easy way to second, and a great glove flip, no less, there from Nate Cormier. Will end the inning on the fielder's choice 6-4. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We now head through 4.5 to the bottom of the 5th. Suns up by a score of 3-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
They're your friends. They're your neighbors. They're even famous entertainers. They're teachers.
Okay, class, settle down. Open your book.
They're scientists and astronauts. They're hams. They're 650,000 strong, and they're just like you. Earning your amateur radio license is easy. Just contact the American Radio Relay League at 1-800-326-3942.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey,
what?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Bottom of the fifth, and the Pittsfield Suns lead it 3-0. It took them 3+ innings, took them to the first batter in the fourth to get their first hit. As the pitch is fouled off, the count is 0-1. Single by Jack Kolumovic, RBI single by Dan Baruch, 2-run blast by Matt Valente. Suns right now, they lead it 3-0. All their offense really coming in last inning. Otherwise, Christopoulos in the first 3 innings has been rather untouched, minus a hit by pitch that forced Mark Coley out of the contest. Swing and a miss there from Schneider. 1-2. Rather 0-2.
And if I'm not mistaken, going off of the point streak stats, that was Valente's first home run of the season.
Yes, it was.
So picks up a couple more RBIs, 12 RBI now.
Slow roller headed towards Achilles, who forehand gloves it, throws over to first, and just getting him in time. The slow roll helps Schneider, but not when it comes to the throwing motion of Achilles, that being the widely touted shortstop that he is. Now the number 9 hitter, shortstop. Almost had an echo there with Mike Heck, the PA announcer. It's Nate Cormier. He got robbed of a base hit because of Phoenix Hernandez. A smoke shot right to him on his knees, was able to make the grab. It was a half-hearted dive, but it doesn't matter. It still counts as an out, and a good one at that with the good reflexes. Curveball and not a strike. Pitch looked good from here. We'll assume it was either high or low. Looked good either way. Here's the 1-0. A check swing foul from Cormier makes it 1-1.
That was a really good two-seam there of what I think was a two-seam. Cut in right on his hands at the last second. Wasn't able to hold the bat back in time.
Christopoulos with the wind and the 1-1. Misses well outside, and oh boy. Jack Aaron framed that pitch after it was in the dirt.
Hey, you got to do what you can.
In the dirt, catches it, goes like this, and stalls. That's all he does.
Yeah, we've seen some drama from Aaron so far in this game.
This one, a chopper headed towards the on-deck man, Jack Cooney. The count is 2-2. We've seen a lot from Aaron today. We've seen a ball where it was a strikeout, and he tried to tag out Dan Baruch, and Baruch just danced around him, basically, and the tag was finally applied, and that one framed it. The good news is he's got some good spirit on him. This one, a defensive foul ball from Cormier, as on the swing, you could see his back foot really kick away, trying to reach and at least get some sort of contact, especially foul.
Yeah, he's having fun with it on the defensive side of the ball, but if you remember back in the first couple of innings, in the batter's box, he had that ball thrown above his head, and that one he wasn't too happy about as well.
Of course, on a missed pitch on a hot, muggy day, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be happy about it.
Obviously.
You're just a victim of circumstance in that issue. The windup from Christopoulos, the 2-2, nubbing this one over to the pitcher, no tag. An underhand flip over to first. They did get him. And a good move there from Larocca going on the foul side.
The right fielder, number 7, Jack Cooney.
And really a solid play there by Christopoulos. Tried to get him with the tag, couldn't quite catch up to him, and barely got the underhanded toss in there in time.
I think that's why the home plate umpire, Brian Bernard, was going out to the pitcher's mound saying, hey, sport, throw that one over again next time. Probably not. He's probably talking about something else. Getting some good spirit, because I'm seeing a lot of smiles out on the base paths and on the diamond, and just overall and in general. One of the most sportsman-like leagues or seasons that I've seen in this league. As first pitch to the hometowner, Jack Cooney, misses. Count is 1-0.
And why not? It's a beautiful night at the ballpark so far. The sun's down. It's a little bit breezy as well, and a pretty good game on hand.
Considering a pitcher's duel mixed with some offense, I would be inclined to agree. Pitch hits the lower outside corner, 1-1. And really, Tamar, you said I was leaning towards offense, then you saw defense, and now you saw offense. I think you're split.
I think so, too. I think Christopoulos is really impressing me right now.
The 1-1, well, just because you said that, he made him swing and miss. Now it's 1-2. Anything else you want to say so we can possibly strike out?
I would say you've caught a couple of plays so far today.
I know. The times that I can interject, I have been able to call some pretty good things.
So Tony Romo, what's going to happen here?
Now that I couldn't have called.
Tony Romo. Good on you.
What a comparison. I wish.
You're drawing a few comparisons, call them the scoring plays.
We won't call you A-Rod. I'm a Yankees fan, by the way. I won't call you.
Oh,
Pitch is low, 2-2, which, oh, yeah, I haven't mentioned my sports teams to you off air.
Even in Boston country, huh?
I'm married to a Boston fan, unfortunately. I'm kidding. She loves Boston. That's perfectly fine. I'm a Boston everything fan, except I grew up a Jeter guy, so Yankees for me. 2-2 misses low and away, 3-2. Grew up really loving sports in general. I grew up a Bulls fan just because of, well, of course, Air Jordan. Grew up a Yankees fan because of Derek Jeter. Styled myself after his style of play. Just, not to this success. The 3-2 is a chopper headed towards short. Tilly's staying busy out there. He'll flip over to first in time. That will end the inning, as I will continue this sentiment by saying that, pretty much a Red Sox, no. Yankees, yes. Boston, pretty much everything else. Celtics, Bruins. Although I am a little bit more of a Vegas Golden Knights guy, I would say, just because of the first year that they had, the amount of adversity they had to overcome, unfortunately, in their first year making the Stanley Cup Finals.
Well, I was just going to say, bring up, is there a little bit of tension here between the Blues and the Bruins with the St. Louis native over here?
Yes, that's what I was going to interject. You say the Bruins, and I have to interject. I am St. Louis.
Congratulations. You more than deserve that. Absolutely.
Thank you. Finally.
I will give you as much credit as you deserve, and really, St. Louis, they took it to Boston.
We needed it.
Of course you did. But again, here's another quick little tidbit. The first year that the St. Louis Blues were part of the NHL, they went to the Stanley Cup Finals, and before this year's Stanley Cup Final, they never won a Stanley Cup Final game.
I'm very aware of that.
Yeah. I don't mean to put salt in the wound there.
It's history making. This is the year that is kicking everything off. Craig Berube was unbelievable. So
I will give you what's due. If my other intern, Steve, was here, he wouldn't be as so forgiving. Steve is a very, very heavy Bruins fan.
All right. Well, we might have to battle that out next time I come back.
Let's see. Steve, are you listening? Just to let you know, Tamar's calling you out saying that the Blues are better than the Bruins. And there's a problem. She's got stats to back it up.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, they really took it to the Bruins this year. It'll be the bottom of the sixth with the second baseman, Jack Klomovic. Center fielder Dom Hughes and DH Matt Malcolm. And that's the bottom of the sixth. I didn't switch over my tagline, my apologies. It's the heart of the order. Sandstrom, Hernandez, Dupree, getting ahead of myself. Trying to get this ball game going along here.
It's moving pretty quick so far. 6:38 start time, only 8:03 right now, so not even an hour and a half in yet.
Watch, now it's going to be an hour before this half inning ends. Sandstrom flew out and grounded out both to right field and second, and he will duplicate a fly out to right. This one on the athletic running play by Jack Cooney.
He has been showing us so much effort this game. It's unbelievable. He gets to it, and he finishes the job.
He shows out for his hometown.
Cooney doing a phenomenal job out in right field. His third play already this game, and you could almost call it 3.5 with that effort on the foul ball earlier.
Absolutely. I would say so.
Definitely a major league effort, so we'll round up and say 4. Why? Because we're not trying to say that we have bias here, but for this instance, well, showing the effort, yeah, he probably did do 4. Phoenix Hernandez is 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. As a first pitch, that one a slap from Matt Schneider's Met. A fast, with an emphasis of fast on the fastball. Count is 0-1 here for Hernandez. Morrison with the 0-1. Check swing. Did he go? He did not, says bases umpire Rich Gunton.
Now, it's good good to see from Morrison as well on the top of the sixth now and still firing on all cylinders, especially with how hot the game started. It's cooled down a little bit. He's settled down into his position and really finding his groove.
There's a big cut and miss, and now the count is 1-2. As this will more than likely be John Morrison's final inning due to NCAA pitching rules. If you throw 90 or more pitches, you can't resume the next inning. The 1-2 bounces in.
And really for the times that Schneider's been tested, whether it be in the dirt, high or away, he's done a pretty good job. Obviously, earlier in the game when they had to make the swinging strike, he made the play to first, then they ended up hitting him at third. That one really being his only one that got away from him too far, and he wasn't able to make the right play on it. But Schneider doing a really nice job behind the plate.
And Morrison, too. I mean, he's held them out. It's still a 3-0 game. So he's really doing a lot of good things for the Pittsfield Suns.
Just that battery in general really backing it up for the Suns and then getting a little bit of help from Valente on the offensive side.
Pitch number 90, swung on foul back and way back to the point where this one bounces all the way to a conistry in the field. And a patron, I think, is looking, hey, what was that sound? But I don't think he could see the ball. He cannot. He's going to turn the corner towards Thrive, and, well, no free baseball for use. It's unfortunate, but, well, that's baseball. So Morrison, this will be his final inning, trying to get the quality start. Here's a 2-2. Swung on. This one past the catcher. Sliding is Kalumovic. The shortstop has it, throws over to first, and it gets away. But no advancement. That's just going to be a base knock for Phoenix Hernandez. That one just went over the glove of Morrison. Sliding it off of him was Kalumovic. The shortstop then tried to throw over to first, rushed it a bit, threw it away. And a good thing Schneider was there. He backed up the play. It's like a right-handed hurler for the Suns. So that's a base knock for Phoenix Hernandez. And Brandon Shalikas will come out. As for the Pittsfield Suns, they do have Jared Henry warming up in the pen. Jared Henry, a native of West Stockbridge, which is just about 20, 30 minutes away from Pittsfield, depending on the drive you take.
Number 18, Jared Dupree.
DH, Jared Dupree, a ground out to second, a walk and a stolen base. That in the second and fourth innings, respectively. On first is Hernandez. First pitch, high fly ball with all day long. Kalumovic will be called up by the shortstop, who literally right behind second base will make the grab. And there's two gone.
The catcher, number 4, Jack Aaron.
Jack Aaron has skied out to both right and center field, and right now he needs to sky out to left to get the cycle of flyouts in outfield.
Not really the cycle you're trying to shoot for going into a game.
Absolutely not. Unless that is your name just so happens to be John Morrison. But I don't think he'd be too upset with a strikeout here.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the first pitch. That one bounces in, gets away there from Schneider as this one bounced way in front, hit high off the chest protector. That's going to advance Hernandez to second on the wild pitch. You can definitely tell that Morrison's ending, or at least towards the end of his line. The fatigue's starting to show. But otherwise, so 94 pitches, wants to at least get out of this inning without any replacements. It's a 1-0 count to Jack Aaron. As this one, looks like it missed just too far high over the letters on the outside part of the plate.
Aaron, his last time up, flew out to center, out to Hughes.
Check swing doesn't matter. Called strike. Now 2-1. Now the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. He did pull it back. Count is 3-1. And Tamar for Morrison. Right now he's got 2 outs, a runner on second. What are your thoughts? Should he really rush this against the batter, or should he take a more slow, methodical pace?
Gosh, I don't know. I would say more slow, methodical. He's getting tired. He has pitched he's done 94 pitches.
And this one goes out into left, and slow, methodical it is.
There you go.
Great analysis.
There
Again,
we go.
as you earlier said, Tony Romo, well, a great comparison there. Calling it before it happens. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. That is going to end the line for John Morrison with a quality start. But we head to the bottom of the 6th. Yes, now it's the bottom of the 6th. I don't have to pretend it's anything else. Through 5.5, it's 3-0. Suns lead the Silver Knights. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
The following commercial is sponsored by feedthepig.org, an organization devoted to helping you save money. We will not entice you with messages like
lowest prices in town, dealer approved, certified pre-owned.
Nor will we brag about our
huge selection, enormous variety.
We will offer no contingencies like
see store for details. Legal exclusions apply.
Because we simply want to help you spend smarter and save better. Log on to feedthepig.org. Find the benefits of saving for every stage of life. Brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network at Paul Dowd Field at Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Billy Madewell, Jacob Vincent, and Tamar Scher here on the call as the Pittsfield Suns currently lead the visiting Nashua Silver Knights by a score of 3-0. As we head to the bottom of the 6th, there's a new pitcher in the ball game for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights. That is right-handed, number 38, Alex Shaffer. And for Shaffer on the year, more of a starter than a reliever. 6 starts out of 8 appearances. He's got a 2-3 record with a 5.69 ERA. 36 in the third innings pitched. 37 hits. 23 runs. However, all of them are earned. 12 walks to 28 strikeouts.
And I'm going to remain by my side when I say that Christopoulos did a great job. Shaffer is going to come in. He's going to have more energy because he is that relief pitcher, but I'm going to hand it off to Christopoulos for doing a really good job and keep limiting the Suns to 3 runs only.
And he only had 1 hiccup of an inning. As this one goes off the pitcher's mound to the second baseman, Blandini, who has to back up. Kolumovic is out. And Tamar, I can't help but agree with you there because the guy only gave up 3 hits, and 2 of them were critical with a leadoff single, which was the Suns' first hit. Later in the inning, an RBI single by Dan Baruch, and then a 3-run homer. Otherwise, the guy was untouchable. He only gave up a hit by pitch other than that and struck out a ton more batters.
Absolutely. Great game for him.
Yeah, outside of those 3 batters, no one else got anything going, had the 4 strikeouts, but then he gave up those 3 runs. And that's really been the difference in the game so far. And offensively for the Silver Knights, haven't really been able to get anything going, but that's because of Morrison, who's been on top of his game as well.
So we did see a pitcher's duel, albeit one of the pitchers went 6 innings, the other went 5. Hughes skied out to right as he was a offensive replacement and a pinch runner after Mark Coley was hit by a pitch back in the first. Count is 2-0 to the center fielder Hughes. And Alex Shaffer, he has played a lot, but a high ERA. As this one misses low, now 3-0. A 5.09 team ERA, and Shaffer is over that by 60 points.
And Shaffer, 28 strikeouts compared to just 12 walks on the season. Not a huge walk guy, but 3-0 right now.
He's not a huge walk guy, but he's going to get a taste of it here as Hughes will see first. For the second time again, pinch runner back in the first. Matt Malcolm, the DH, grounded out to second, or rather short his last time up. The catching core of Peterson, Malcolm, and now Schneider after Schneider essentially replaced Andrew Fernandez. A lot of good walk-up music. As this one hits the plate, it looks like, and the runner will advance to second. He's going to think third, but he's going to think better of it. But for the catching core, a lot of good walk-up music. But as a joke, Andrew Fernandez, again, just listening to Baby Shark over and over and over again. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, man, my eyes lit up. You couldn't hear it, but...
I agree with you on that sentiment. You don't need to say anything, but I agree. Just listen to Baby Shark every other inning is...
I can imagine how that feels.
Yes.
I mean, I got to hand it to him. It gives the guy character if that
Something
is
like
what
that.
you're going to
That's something the Suns lead the league in, is character.
Yes, I can see that just from being here for one day.
Sportsmanship, character. If we can continue that in the league in itself, it's a great experience for everyone.
Malcolm will have a 1-0 count as Hughes is now on second. Next pitch, that one shifted foul right to Baruch in the on-deck circle.
So another big opportunity for the Suns here, one of their best hitters at the plate. A runner in scoring position, only one out in the inning. However, they did get all of their 3 runs back in the 4th inning on 2 outs.
Shaffer has a 1-1 count with 1 gun and a runner on second. Oh boy, was that an eephus pitch or what? This one apparently missed the strike zone, as that one probably, I would say, had to eclipse lower than 70 miles an hour.
It definitely looked like he just kind of lobbed it in there. It really didn't look like he's throwing it off speed.
It looked like he was throwing no speed.
Yeah.
Here's the 2-1 as this one's down the right field line, but foul. Hits the wall and goes halfway into right field.
Hughes is antsy for this steal here. He is back and forth waiting for his opportunity.
He's dancing over on second as much as Dan Baruch was when he struck out swinging.
Right.
And really just a smart play by Hughes as well to try to get in the mind of Shaffer, who's coming into a game. They're down 3 runs. He's already walked Hughes, so he's already a little bit rattled. Now trying to rattle him even more, dancing around there at second base.
Hot shot as the shortstop was covering second. It goes by him. Here comes the runner, and there is no throw.
Another beautiful hit to left field.
And with that RBI single has got to be credited towards Dom Hughes dancing out there, pulling it till he's away, headed towards short, going to second base, and a hit right where he was supposed to be. So an RBI single. Now the Suns lead it by a score of 4-0.
That's what I like to call the sweet spot. Right out there.
It makes all the sense in the world. It's just a beautiful swing, as really that was a perfect placement of where it needed to be, thanks to the conditions provided by Dom Hughes.
Yep. Yeah, Tillies came from behind trying to pick him off, and Shaffer decided not to, came home with it, and found the 6 gap.
That's a called strike on the lower outside corner to Dan Baruch. Struck out swinging. RBI single in the 4th. Here's a pitch, a high fly ball first base side, but Larocca is going to run out of room. And this one will go Looks like off of the picnic area 10. Count is 0-2. Now the 0-2, swung on up the middle, past the shortstop into center field for a seeing eye single now by Dan Baruch, his second hit of the game.
A really nice piece of hitting there by Baruch. Goes down 0-2 and just looking for anything close to fight off. Rips it right back up the middle and keeps the inning alive, too. Doesn't hit into the double play that could have ended the inning. So a big hit and a big at-bat there by Baruch.
And here is a big bat by Matt Valente. A 2-run jack to right last time up. He's 1 for 2. And here is a meeting on the mound. Looks like a pitching coach for the Nashua Silver Knights. There is a right-handed hurler warming up. And if our eyes have that correct, that is Sean Cormier, or that's Jimmy Fahey. Either 12 or 17. Can't see from here.
I believe it's 12, yeah.
So that would be Sean Cormier of New England College, the junior out of Rochester, New Hampshire.
So might we see a couple of Cormiers facing off against one another?
Ooh, now wouldn't that be interesting? Of course, no relation, but that would be interesting.
So Valente finding himself in a similar position back as he was back in the 4th inning, except only had one runner on there. Ended up jacking his first home run of the season, picking up a couple more RBI. He's picked up 6 RBI now in the last couple of games.
First pitch is a curveball that gets in there. Called strike 0-1. Hot shot into right center field. That one's going to get down for a base hit and possibly more. As rounding first is going to be Valente. 1 run will come in, and they're going to round a second runner. The throw is going to be not in time. Another 2 RBI base knock for Matt Valente. This one a 2 RBI 2-bagger. And now the Pittsfield Suns lead by a score of 6-0.
And I don't think there is a hotter hitter in the FCPL right now. As I just said, he had 6 RBI before that at bat. Give him 2 more, 8 RBIs in the last 2 games. And a double there, 2 more RBI added to his name. And it's a 6-0 ball game here in Pittsfield.
So bring up Taylor Beckett, 0 for 2, trying to get some offense and insurance runs, because here in the 6th, with the Suns having 6 on the scoreboard to Nashua's 0, there's no such thing as too many insurance runs at this point in juncture. Pitch over the plate, but high, 1-0.
And the Pittsfield Suns just like to drive up the score. 14-5 yesterday. Unreal for a baseball game. Now it's 6-0.
Now this is a Suns team that has definitely needed some offensive power coming from the plate, as that ball misses outside. Being 1-4 in their last 5 with that 1 win coming in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday against
Stole the words
Starfires.
out of my mouth.
Finally finding it offensively with just a few games to go in the season before the playoffs.
This one does hit the lower outside corner. Now the count is 2-1. A check swing. Home plate umpire says he did go, which is the correct call. 2-2 with 1 gone. A runner on second. Suns 3 in the 6th. They lead it 6-0. This one is looping out into right. Back is Sandstrom trying to tag up. Is Valente. The catch is made, but the throw's cut off on the bluffed attempt there from Valente.
And that was an outside pitch there from Shaffer. It almost looked like Beckett was just trying to foul that one off, but ended up swinging a little too quickly. Hits it out to right field for an easy pop out. Schneider stepping into the box. We've seen him pretty comfortable in the box, hasn't been able to get anything going offensively, but taking a couple of big hacks his first at bat, breaking his bat in half.
As that pitch is in there, called strike, 0-1. And he didn't just break it in half, but really, as soon as he swung it, it's like a laser just sliced it right down the middle to the point where Matt Gedman was asking if it was actually broken. Shaffer with the kick in the 0-1. Again, that slow change. That's in there, a called strike, now 0-2.
And that really does almost look like an Ephus pitch coming out. That one not as bad as the other one earlier, but now 0-2. He's got to be looking anything close here and possibly looking for that pitch again.
The 0-2 grounder to short. Grabbing that one is Achilles. Throw over to first, and let's see. Yes, the foot held on the great stretch by Larocca. That will go down as a ground out. But in the inning, 3 runs off of 3 hits, including an RBI single by Matt Malcolm and a 2 RBI 2-bagger by Matt Valente. No errors, 1 man left. We now head through 6 full to the top of the 7th, and there's a new pitcher in the ballgame for the Suns. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Check it out, it's the Terminator. Hey, when'd you get back, huh?
Did you have to shoot anyone?
Why are you so distant? Are you not happy to see me?
So what's the deal? You gonna get a job now or what?
Why are you being so jumpy? Put all that stuff behind you, okay?
No one knows what it's like to come back from Iraq or Afghanistan unless they were there. Join other veterans at communityofveterans.org because we know where you're coming from. Brought to you by Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Top of the 7th and the bottom of the order for the Nashua Silver Knights with the new pitcher in the ball game, number 11, Jared Henry. For Jared Henry on the year for the Pittsfield Suns, he has been a primary reliever. Only 1 start in 17 appearances as the first pitch just misses. He's 0-2 with a save with a 4.62 ERA, 23 and a third innings pitched, giving up 17 hits, 16 runs, only 12 earned, 18 walks to 25 strikeouts. This one is fouled back, and the count now is 1-1. But for John Morrison, really a day for John Morrison, which I don't believe is his best, which is, suffice to say, really not much for the all-star starter. Check swing. The appeal. They're asking for an appeal, I think. Yes, he did.
It looked like it from up here, but Larocca not agreeing with that one.
Well, he will step into the batter's box with a 1-2 count against him. And the 1-2. He'll agree with that pitch as it was outside, 2-2.
Yeah, Morrison already a very good ERA on the season, 2.67 coming into this game, and obviously dropping that one even more so with the scoreless 6 innings.
Here is the 2-2. Count on a miss for strike 3. That's a way to kick off your outing for Jared Henry with a strikeout. And now for Mike Larocca, that marks his 3rd strikeout of the ball game, making him wear the hat tonight. The shortstop, number 5, Luis Atiles has been very, very active over at short today. Atiles walked and lined out to center. He's 0 for 1.
Yeah, we mentioned how he played for that New England college team, making a deep playoff run, and he's a big reason why, a very good shortstop. That one's in there for strike 1, but also he can hit the ball for that New England team.
So going back by saying that, John Morrison, this was not his best start. I now have an inkling to show you how this one is backed up as the pitch that catches in there, strike 2. His first start at Westfield on May 31st, 5 no-hit innings. Struck out 5. The 0-2 bounces in for a 55-foot pitch. 1-2 now is the count. The only reason why he was knocked out of that ball game and could not continue the no-hitter, again, is the NCAA ruling when it comes to pitches.
That's an all-star player right there. You're right about that.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Henry following Morrison's lead. 2 straight strikeouts.
Second baseman, number 10, Connor Blandini.
Blandini has struck out looking and walked. Actually, he's only swung at 1 pitch, and that was a foul ball. Out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pitches. Well, now make it 2 for 11. That one, I think, almost had the power lights as it was fouled off. The count is 0-1.
Yeah, and he's going to have to be swinging with Henry on the mound now. Henry already striking out 2 victims, trying not to become the 3rd.
Now the 0-1, that one's fouled back as, well, this is a little bit of opposite at bat here for Blandini. Now nothing but swinging.
He wants to get it in play. You can tell. He's itching for it.
I think he heard you as well.
I mean, well, my mother said growing up I didn't really have too much of a loudmouth, but then I grew up, so we'll certainly see if that's the case. Here's the 0-2. Swung on a miss through the 5-hole. Gets away from Schneider, and that is another strikeout wild pitch. However, this can set up Jared Henry with a potential attempt at history. That is the 3rd strikeout of the inning. There's 2 outs, and a man that hasn't struck out yet is Ben Irvine, the man up to the dish now. It's happened once before for the Suns all the way back.
Now batting for Nashua, number 21, Barry Walsh.
All the way back in 2013 as a pinch hitter, Barry Walsh will dig in, replacing Ben Irvine. First pitch looking, first pitch called, strike, 0-1. Walsh batting .222 on the year, no homers, 8 RBI. Here's the 0-1. That one missing low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been so long, I really don't know what game it was or who pitched, but I can tell you I believe it was back in 2013, the last time that the Pittsfield Suns had 4 strikeouts in 1 inning. Pitch misses well outside. Good block there from Schneider. Able to stab at that one, preventing another wild pitch. Count now is 2-1.
Yeah, it's not too often you're going to see 4 strikeouts in an inning, and when it happens, it's something to behold. And we've already seen a really good game. The pitchers duel throughout the first 5 innings, and then the Suns starting to pour it on a little bit. And now the pitcher's getting right back on it.
2-1 misses high to the point where Brian Bernard even ducked. 3-1, but here, that's very interesting to see. Say that one more time.
Which part?
You're never going to see a 4-strikeout outing? Yeah.
Yes.
You're never going to, or at least not often, because, well, it's only happened in one other time in Suns history. 3-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2, and Henry's got a chance at it.
Tamar, what do you think?
Well, Jared Henry coming in right now and being able to get all these strikeouts, it's unbelievable.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. The runner will be off, and the payoff. Oh, just missing the strike zone. Even Henry thought that was strike 3. He bends back, but he'll have to settle against facing off against the left fielder, Dylan Jones, or at least that is his scheduled batter. And how about this little stat? Dylan Jones struck out swinging, but reached first on the wild pitch. No, this is number 40. That is Liam Deegan.
Liam Deegan.
Deegan, a 186 hitter coming into this one.
That pitch misses outside. The count is 1-0.
He does have 1 home run and 3 doubles on the year.
Pitch misses well outside. Another good block there from Schneider. I've heard of striking out the side, but I really don't know how to call it when there's more than 3. Striking out the side and main courses? I'm just not sure.
I like that one. Maybe main courses and side.
Oh, there we are. Runners go. The 2-0 is upstairs for a ball. Both runners advance, it appears. That one was a ball. So that is a double steal. Both runners credited. It'll be a 3-0 pitch here to Deegan. With 2 outs, I would highly doubt a swing here on a 3-0 count.
Yeah, and a really smart job by Deegan to just stay in the box there and make it a little bit tougher for Schneider to make that throw to third.
That pitch is just below the letters, called strike, 3-1.
Now a little bit of a danger area here for the Suns defensively. Offensively, the Silver Knights starting to pick it up a little bit. 2 outs in the inning, but they do have 2 runners in scoring position.
3-1 swung on and fouled off, and, well, this is his second attempt at it. Like in tennis, this is match point 2. In this case, it's record book point 2.
In the same position, the full count with 2 outs as well.
The only difference is that now there's runners on second and third as opposed to first only, which is the vacant bag right now. The payoff. It went off of the elbow pad, home plate umpire Brian Bernard says. I did hear a very distinct hit. Brandon Schleek is going to come out and talk with Jared Henry. Wasn't sure if that one was going to be a hit by pitch or if that one actually hit off the bat, but it appears it was the former. So now the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And while we have a quick chance, we're going to go over other games that are happening around the league as, oh boy, Billy Butler will be pinch hitting here, and that is a very dangerous hitter.
Yeah, so 6-0 in the Suns game right now. The Navigators not having any trouble with the Starfires in the bottom of the 7th out in Westfield. 10-3 are the Navigators lead in that one. And then over on the Bristol Blues in the Brockton Rocks game, it's the bottom of the 7th in Brockton, and it's a 6-1 ball game. The Blues lead it right now. So, like we said, the Suns still trying to come back in the standings. They're 5th place right now, just a few games back at 2.5 games back of the Rocks. So this would be a big game for the Blues, who are a game and a half back of the Rocks as well.
Billy Butler is 159 hit around the year, 2 homers, 12 RBI, but those 2 homers are not indicative of what he's done when it comes to home run derby as the pitch is hit on the outside corner. On my wedding day, the game that I was not here for, at least for calling the game, he hit 13 homers in 1 round.
The 1 game you miss.
1 game I miss. That was the first home run derby of the year as well. Pitch misses outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And if I'm not mistaken, that is the first game that you've missed, correct?
And the entire history of the Pittsfield Suns being established in 2012, yes, that was the very first game that I missed. I have a good excuse for it. A ball, a strike, 2 gone, Ducks on the pond as the pitch misses outside. Now 2-1.
Really crunch time here for Henry. Cruised through the first 2 batters, striking them out, and then got the strikeout on the third one. But with that being, Blandini. But now struggling with the top of the order and the subs coming in.
Swung on high in the air towards right. Cooney will come in. He will collect the out without any further damage. So technically, he does strike out the side, but also gets a fly out for it as well. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. The bases are left loaded. We're going to listen in to Take Me Out to the Ball Game as the Suns lead it 6-0.
The ball game is the legend himself and Wacona Park's own Banjo Joe. Everybody sing along.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
There's a new pitcher in the ballgame for the visiting Nashua Silver Knights. That is number 12, Sean Cormier, and you couldn't have picked a better time for him to come in because he will be facing off against Nate Cormier. Guys, who's going to win this matchup, Cormier or Cormier?
Well, we haven't seen much of Sean Cormier yet, so I would have to give it off to Nate, but we have no idea how this one's going to go.
I think you do, though. You've been pretty good at calling them earlier in the game.
Well, for Cormier, that being Sean, I'm just going to call him by first name. 6 appearances, no record with a 6.75 ERA. 9 1/3 innings pitched, 15 hits, 7 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks to 5 strikeouts, and the first pitch he throws is in there for a called strike, as I think I might have seen some lightning out on the horizon. Yes, I did.
Yep. And I've actually been noticing that for about an inning or so. I was wondering if home plate umpire Brian Bernard was going to notice that, but so far we're going to keep playing.
Well, right now, that's only in favor of the Suns right now, which prevents them, the Silver Knights, from coming back as it's past 4 innings. This pitch just misses outside of the zone, well high, now 1-2. So Sean Cormier to Nate Cormier has a 1-2 count. Sean with the windup, the 1-2. This one bounces in for a ball to Nate. Count is 2-2.
I'm checking on the radar right now, and nothing looks like it's too close. The closest thing looks like it's in Albany, so.
2-2 high in the air down the right field line. First baseman, second baseman, right fielder all chasing, and none of them will get there as it shades foul. We'll go again to 2-2. And this one was just out by, we'll say, about 3 feet.
in the perfect spot that nobody was able to get to it on the right side of the field.
And with three fielders converging, as you see it now, that's what you call the Bermuda Triangle.
Now, Nate Cormier only has 16 strikeouts in his 96 at-bats, so could really go either way here.
Very low percentage. Here's a 2-2. High drive into center. On the line drive is a center fielder who does dive. And no, it's not Nate Cormier who wins, nor is it Sean. It's actually saved out there by the center fielder. Barry Walsh with a fantastic grab out in center. A line out to center, and being robbed of his first base hit of the ball game was Cormier, the Nate version, and one gone. First pitch that's in there to the leadoff hitter Jack Cooney. He's 0 for 3. Strikeout in the first, fly out to right, ground out in the fifth as this one shades foul. That will stay in the ballpark right to a fan.
He's aggressive. He's smacking it really hard every single time, or at least attempting to.
Chopper to guess who? It's Hillies again. The shortstop flips over to first in time. Now 2 gone. How many outs, assists, or putouts otherwise has Tilly's had? I think I'm going to have to calculate that.
I believe it's 4 or 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wow.
That's 2 innings worth of defensive putouts. Well, in this case, assists. First pitch to the lefty does change up in there, called strike 0-1 to Kalumovic.
And that one was a tough play, too, because it hit that grass and really slowed up, had to charge in on it.
Chopper headed towards first, takes a weird bounce for Larocca. The pitcher has it, and that'll be a reverse 3-1 putout over at first. And that will end the inning. 7 full innings of play. It's a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 7th. We now head to the top of the 8th. Suns still all over the Silver Knights by a score of 6-0. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
So here's my cell phone number, my husband's cell phone number, and here's the number to the grandparents. The number of the restaurant we'll be at, it's just down the block. And I told the neighbors you were here, so if anything happens, anything at all, don't hesitate to call. And what's your cell phone number again? I don't think I put that in.
Honey.
What?
Honey, he'll be fine. Okay, let's go.
I know you're right.
The odds of a babysitter calling 911, 1 in 1,400. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn some of the signs. No big smiles or other joyful expressions by 6 months. No back and forth sharing of sounds or facial expressions by 9 months. And no babbling by 12 months. To learn more of the signs and more about autism, visit autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
New pitcher of the ball game for the Suns. That will be the right-handed thrower, number 36, Max McDowell. He's only played in 2 other games for the Suns. Again, he joined the team on the 24th, just about a week ago. McDowell, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run that was unearned, walked 1, struck out 4. He's got no decisions, no saves, no holds, no ERA. There's the first pitch. High drive deep to center. Going back is Hughes. Further back, and he on the run will slide and make a grab. What a phenomenal play by the center fielder, Dom Hughes.
And McDowell has to tip his cap to Hughes on that one. Hughes coming in to replace Coley. And a phenomenal grab there and made a very long run from dead center all the way out to right center in the gap. And a really kind of over-the-shoulder catch. What a catch there by Dom Hughes.
Showing flashes of his brother, Thomas, and another brother in Hal. This one is lined right. Oh, boy, that one, good thing the protective netting's there. Otherwise, that ball would have seen a drink in the 1892 grill. Oh, 0-2 is the count to Dupree. Again, he's walked and stole a bag. Otherwise, not much else. This one swung on and missed for strike 2. Dupree actually hasn't hit the ball out of the infield. Like ground out to second to pop out to short. McDowell, the slow windup, and the 0-2. That pitch is fouled off, and the count now is 0-2. And one thing of notoriety here for McDowell, the way that he's pitching, it's slow, and then he's got a large step headed towards home. But then he changes it up, and then he's got a normal step. We'll see it here. Here's the wind, the lift, the 0-2. Inside out swing, headed to shallow right, incoming as a right fielder, and this one, he will not get there in time. That is the first base hit since 1 out in the top of the 6th. Third base hit overall. So there is a bloop single. So Jared Dupree reaches, and now here's Jack Aaron.
And a good piece of hitting there by Dupree in the DH. What hasn't really been able to find the base path other than getting a walk back in the 4th inning. That time doing a good job on the 0-2 count.
High fly ball, foul first base side out of play. Jack Aaron, of mentioning, he does have the cycle of flyouts in the outfield. Fly out to right, center, and left in the 2nd, 4th, and 6th innings. So really, he's only been hitting when it comes to even innings, and right now he's just trying to break that streak. A nod for McDowell. A peek at first. And the 0-1. This is high and away, a semi-pitch out. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think that's what Schneider and Aaron were talking about a little bit there. Have a little conversation between the two.
McDowell, the 1-1. That misses upstairs on the Aces wild pitch. Now 2-1 is the count.
And it's still lightning outside. We can tell there's no rain. There's nothing to fear yet, but there's still lightning.
Just heat lightning, it appears. And as you said, probably Albany, which is about an hour away. That pitch misses upstairs, now 3-0. Check on first, twice with a couple peaks as that pitch misses low and in. And that's a walk for Jack Ahrens, which will bring up Mike Larocca, if not a pinch hitter. Yep, just a piece of lightning we just saw. It will be Mike Larocca. Larocca is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. One more would have him sit with a golden sombrero is the term. Swung on a miss for strike one, 0-1, with runners on first and second and one gone.
And if you're McDowell, he's going to come right at him, realizing that he's got the 3 strikeouts on the game, either trying to get him to ground into a double play or sit him down on the bench for the 4th time.
McDowell with the 0-1. Swung on, fouled off. Look out. One goes right past the opposite running children there, and it looks like a young girl in a green shirt is able to grab that.
Looks like he's getting a little frustrated out here, ready and willing to hit it and smack it hard, but he can't find it so far in the game.
Yeah, if you're McDowell, you got to realize that he was on that pitch there, so maybe not go back to that one.
Let's see what he does. It's an 0-2 count. Time is called. Looking at the weather radar that you were just looking at, I do see that the weather is shifting from the south going northeast. And really right now, the heaviest of it is in Poughkeepsie. Hopefully we can get underneath all 9 innings first. The 0-2 misses high and away, 1-2. Suns have been lucky all year long. No rainouts.
That's impressive.
Very, considering this is Wakona Park we're talking about, and the entire parking lot will flood if it's so bad.
And what we've seen of Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
1-2 misses inside. Go ahead.
The weather is not always in your favor. You never know what to expect when you're out here.
And whenever it rains, and
Absolutely.
It doesn't stop for a while.
Really 2 extremes when it comes to winter and when it comes to summer. And when it comes to the rain, when it comes to hail, when it comes to fog, what have you. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 men on, 1 gone. McDowell, 2-2. Swung on yet again, fouled off. Larocca really trying to grab some offense here, as his team has only mustered up 3 hits, which the Suns have already doubled up. And the Suns lead it 6-0. Nashua, they already guaranteed a playoff spot, but they want to do better. It doesn't help when you are down in the totem pole as the number 6 seed, and you go into that with a losing streak. The team morale is low, even though it's basically a brand new season. Suns crowd getting behind McDowell, the 2-2. Lifted out into center field. Coming in is Hughes. On the run, he will make the grab. No advancement, as that was well too shallow. And now this will bring up Luis Attiles.
Now really big out there for McDowell. Now he's still got 2 runners on, but there's 2 outs, so he just has to focus on the batter and Attiles.
A walk, then he was thrown out over at third as the bases were loaded on a strikeout wild pitch. A line out to center and a strikeout. This one a slow fly ball going out to left. Incoming is Baruch. No one can get there. Diving is Baruch. 1 run will come in, and that will be an RBI single by Luis Attiles. And finally, the Nashua Silver Knights are on the board. It is now 6-1.
And that communication is key when you're on that defensive play. There were 3 players for the Suns going to that ball, and their communication needed to step up in that position.
Yeah, just really a tough play for Baruch coming in on that one. It got his glove to it, but wasn't quite there. And then he didn't know where the ball was, so it was a good job by Hughes to keep running after the ball and be able to pick it up and save another run from coming in.
Absolutely.
The shutout is gone, but the Suns still have a 5-run lead with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Here's Connor Blandini. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, 2 strikeouts, 1 he reached on. He's also got a stolen base. The pitch misses outside, 1-0. Yeah, it does look like we're going to get hit with some very quick and very heavy rain that's coming from Poughkeepsie. The 1-0 misses up and in, just off of the zone. Now 2-0.
So if you're the Silver Knights, you get one run in. You got that 2-out rally going. Still a runner on third. A really good position here for Blandini to get another run in and try to get a little rally going on.
2-0 with a swing like that. He's going to try, but failing with a big swing and miss. And the key to that swing and miss was, as much as Blandini wanted to hit it, his head pulled away from it, which really reduces the amount of contact that you can grab because, well, you can't see the ball. Pitch misses up and in. Now 3-1.
McDowell really has to buckle down here with the 3-1 count. He's got 2 outs on the board. He has a force out of both first and second, so even if he gets a ground ball, that's fine. Or a strikeout, obviously, but really has to buckle down and make a couple of good pitches.
Here's a 3-1. Swung on, fouled off, and the count will be full at 3-2 with Luis Attili's over on first, having a free head start as he is forced to be off with the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 gone.
And with that being that full count now, it almost takes away that force out at second, as he will have a head start there unless it's a hot shot right there. Most likely only being able to go to first or the strikeout are the 2 options. Obviously a fly out as well.
Runner goes off, and the pitch is inside. The bases are loaded. Here comes Brandon Shalikas, which will give us ample time to look at things of what's happening around the FCBL.
So really just mirrored games right now between the Bristol Blues, the Brockton Rocks, and then the Silver Knights and Suns here. 6-1 in this ballgame in the top of the 8th, but in the bottom of the 8th over in Campanelli Stadium, the Blues are leading 6-1 as well. The Navigators and Starfires are in the top of the 9th, and that one at Boland's Field, and that one is 10-3. The Navigators still on top.
And really this entire meeting for McDowell is to really calm him down. The bases are loaded, sure, but the tying run is on deck. Really, you just have to focus at this one batter. Don't worry about if any other runs come in. Just focus on the batter.
Yeah, he's got 2 outs. Force at any bag, so if he gets a ground ball, it's most likely going to turn into an out. So like you said, focus on the batter. Don't worry about any of the runners and just get this guy out.
First pitch. That's in there. A called strike. That meeting on the mound with Brandon Shalik has worked for at least that one pitch.
Yeah, McDowell now can take a deep breath, settle down a little bit. He's got 1 strike under his belt, getting ahead in the count. It's going to be huge for his confidence going forward in this at-bat.
Here's the 0-1. Ooh, just missing below the knees. Now 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 as this one's a hot shot into center. Going back there is Hughes, a critical play. And this one, he is going to reach full back, and he is going to make the play. The only thing he dropped was his hat. And that is a huge out in center field once again by Dom Hughes.
Very similar to the play he made earlier in the inning to get the first out of the inning. That one, he just overran a little bit. He had too much speed on that ball, but still a phenomenal play out in center field. And Hughes coming in as a sub in the first inning, doing a very, very good job defensively for the Suns.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. It's a good day for him. It's a good day for Hughes.
In the inning, 1 run off of 2 hits, no errors in the bases yet again for the second straight inning are left full. We head now to the bottom of the 8th. Suns still lead at 6-1. We're going to listen in as the crowd sings Sweet Caroline. Bottom of the 8th for the Suns as they lead it 6-1. Bases loaded, and a great grab by Dom Hughes. Holds the line right now for the Suns. They lead it 6-1.
And what do you know? A great play out in center field leads to leading off the inning. The bottom half of the 8th.
And the saying goes, great defense leads to great offense. Let's see if that will come to fruition at this point in junction.
Last time up back in the 6th inning, he took a walk. He also got a fly out in the game.
A big swing and miss there from Hughes. Count is 0-1.
The crowd's really getting into this game. Getting into the song.
Looking at his gloves, he's actually going to go get some more pine tar on the bat. His left hand came off the bat on that one as he took such a big hack. So he's going to put some more pine tar on the bat, make sure he doesn't let go of it.
That pitch is a slow curve that grabs the strike zone for strike 2. Swung on a miss for strike 3. Unfortunately, not able to get the offense going, but still a great defensive play. We'll bring up Matt Malcolm.
The designated hitter, number 27, Matt
Malcolm, his last time up, started another rally in that 6th inning, had the RBI single, which was followed by the Dan Baruch RBI double. Excuse me, Matt Valente RBI double. So Malcolm trying to follow that up again here with 1 out.
That pitch gets away from the catcher for a ball. Count is 1-0. The 1-0. Looking at this one the entire way is Malcolm. Count is 2-0. That one,
brushing it back a little bit.
A little chin music.
Even the crowd reacted to that one.
That pitch misses out of the zone, and that's going to be a walk for Malcolm. This will bring up left fielder Dan Baruch. He's having a great day at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Reached home twice. He's got an RBI with one of those singles. And on his strikeout, that was probably the best strikeout I've ever seen, dancing away.
And if you are Baruch, as a batter, you got to realize, all right, Cormier came out in this inning through 4 straight balls. So if I'm a batter, I'm taking until I get a strike.
Baruch, speaking of. So where are you hiding that crystal ball, by the way? The count is 0-1 with a runner on and 1 gone.
It was a really good pitch there by Cormier as well. Throwing that off speed, he doesn't want to give him anything too easy.
Swung on, foul bag. 0-2 the count.
You can tell his determination. There's only 1 out. This is a perfect position for him and how he's been going through this game.
From the stretch is Cormier. Taking a peek over at Malcolm on first. A high fly ball going out to deep right center field. And this one will get down for a base hit. The right fielder will throw into second. Oh, and they got him. An assist by the right fielder who deep the runner Malcolm. And that's actually, instead of a base hit, that's going to be a fielder's choice. And the pitcher, Cormier, tips his cap out to right field. So instead of a base hit, that's actually going to be a fielder's choice. And that will go 9-6.
And really, there's no difference. He easily could have caught that ball in the air as well. Made it a little bit tougher on himself, letting it drop and making the good throw.
First
definitely
pitch.
made up.
Go ahead.
All right, I was saying he's definitely made up for it. worked hard.
This one is shot foul. The count now is 0-2. Here to Matt Valentes have a day. 2 for 3, 6 total bases, a 2-run homer, a 2-run double.
And that's just on top of what he did yesterday as well.
Slow curve, foul back towards us, and seriously? Nothing? Didn't even flinch.
We're ready. I told you before the game, I kind of wanted to stay here just to, be one of those broadcasters that catches a foul ball in the middle of the game.
Waiting with our hands out.
I did not bring my glove, though.
The 0-2 pitch is well outside. Well, I think I don't mean to be a jerk here. The only thing you guys are going to be catching is a trip down the road to BMC.
Probably right.
I've had a ball that was literally gone right here. That's why the netting is up. At least once every year before the netting was up, we've had at least one ball every year come up into the press box.
Sheesh.
At least one.
Yeah, I say that, but if it would actually happen, I would definitely be diving into
the good news is you're very confident, which is nice. The 1-2 is cut on a miss for strike 3. That will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left. We now head to the top of the 9th as the Suns try to close this one out, as they lead it 6-1 over the Nashua Silver Knights. You're listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network.
Player of the game is Matt Valente.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Did you know the third leading cause of fire deaths for older adults is cooking? Hi, I'm Rob Neal from the United States Fire Administration with important fire safety tips for seniors. Never leave cooking unattended because a serious fire can start in seconds. Don't wear loose clothing while cooking. Keep towels and pot holders away from the range. Double check the kitchen before you go to bed or leave your home. This message is brought to you by the United States Fire Administration, your local fire department, and this radio station.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
There's a new pitch in the ball game to close this one out in a non-safe situation. Number 26, Dante Moran for the Suns. As we take a peek at Moran, he's a fresh face for the Suns. He's played a 1 game, 1 inning. It wasn't favorable, however. He gave up 4 hits, 5 earned runs, struck out 1 and walked 1. He is 0-1 on the season. Looking to bounce back, and at this point, more or less garbage time as first pitch, a hot shot into center. The center fielder sliding, and he again makes the grab. How in the world do you keep doing that, Dom Hughes? That's the 3rd amazing play in center field we've seen today. When is he going to stop?
Unbelievable. I mean, I think that one, it's the most impressive one, but it was also even more impressive because he went down to his knees, almost came to a stop, and then had to dive from his knees to get that ball. It's such a hot shot. What a phenomenal job by Hughes coming in off the bench, not even getting the start in this game, not even thinking he's going to get the start in this game, but coming in the first inning and doing just a phenomenal job defensively out there in that 8 spot.
So 1 out, and the pitch just misses a strike zone. Not sure where that one missed. That's Billy Butler, who's been out in right field since the 7th. And the 1-0, big cut and miss, and now that's strike 1.
Dom Hughes and Cooney, both guys have been able to really show off their defensive success and their hustle, and they are doing amazing things for this Pittsfield Suns team.
The 1-1, ooh, big cut and miss as this one went way low and outside. And if you're going to swing at a pitch like that, you're going to need a 64-inch bat, not a 34-inch bat. Count now 1-2.
Yeah, really a shout out to both Hughes and Cooney, but even Baruch out in left field, the one play that he had a chance to make on, it was a really tough one as well. Gave out his whole effort as well, but couldn't quite get to it.
Called strike 3 at the knees on the outside part of the plate. What a pitch, and the Pittsfield Suns are 1 out away.
For only being in one game, pitching one game, this guy comes out. Really good things for the Suns.
It just shows how much confidence you can get from your team, especially when you have that 5-run lead. When the offense is running, the defense, and obviously the defense playing very well as well. He was doing a phenomenal job getting that run support as well. And the Suns team starting to build a little momentum heading into the end of the season.
Phoenix Hernandez will see called strike 1 on what a breaking ball curve was that from Moran. The count is 0-1. Here's the 0-1, skying this one out to right. Underneath this one is Cooney. He will look up, and he will collect the final out of the ball game. Pittsfield Suns, they win it by a final score of 6-1, and that's definitely what they needed after recent unsuccess. Again, as we talked about, going 1 for 4 in their last 5 games, 4 for 6 in their last 10. This was a big win for the Suns against a Nashua team that was ready to have a late comeback before the defense came back and the pitching came back, as well as, of course, the offense in the 4th and 6th innings.
Yeah, and I think the two big key players in my mind are definitely Dom Hughes out in center field, coming in as a sub for Coley, Mark Coley out in center field. But then Valente at the plate, just staying hot, had a big game, that 14-5 win yesterday against the Star Flyers, coming right back to Pittsfield, and the Fire is still on that bat right now. A huge game for him, picking up even more RBI on the season, and a big win for the Suns late in the season.
And the Suns, they just have an incredible defensive lineup. I mean, Cooney did great. Baruch did great. Everyone contributed a major amount to this game tonight, and this could be a comeback for them in my eyes.
Well, we'll get into all of that when we come back. When we come back, we're going to present to you the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Stay tuned.
Getting your child home safely
Tap your views together 3 times.
is just a click away.
There's no place like home.
But making sure your child is in the right seat is just one of the steps down the road to safer travels.
I don't know how it works.
Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. There's no better way to get home safely. Know for sure that your child is in the right seat.
How can I ever thank you enough?
Get all the facts at safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Exercise is hard. So is maintaining a healthy diet. Of course, neither is half as hard as dying. Sadly, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and stroke kill nearly 1 million people a year. Even sadder, most of these deaths are preventable with a few lifestyle changes, including regular activity, healthier eating, and not smoking. Talk to your doctor about your risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And if your doctor recommends lifestyle changes or medication, listen. The reason so many die is because not enough are willing to change. You can stop it, starting right now. It's your life. Listen to your doctor. Eat better. Get moving. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries, protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America.
Were you born ready to protect America? Learn more at gocoastguard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Massachusetts Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Now, back to Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, with your host, Billy Madewell, Steve O'Brien, and Colin Quinn.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pittsfield Suns post-game show on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. We just had to lie to you for just a quick second. Colin Quinn and Steve O'Brien Jr. are not here. Instead, we had a game called by myself, Jacob Vincent, and Tamar Scher. And I'm so used to saying gentlemen, I do apologize. I'll start with you because of that. Tamar, what did you think of this contest?
It was a great matchup, I thought. I mean, the pitcher duel at the beginning between the back and forth walk and strike, it was a really great matchup. And it wasn't until the Pittsfield Suns got those 3 runs that the game really started picking up. But it could have gone either way until that point, and then they took off. And there were some great contenders in the Suns lineup that made this game what it is.
And now, Jacob, real quick, I mean, we had such a back-and-forth matchup. We had a pitcher's duel. We had an offense. We had a late rally of a comeback. Pretty much baseball. Yeah. That's what we had today, baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we came into this game previewing it as it going to be a pitcher's duel, and that's what we got through the first 5 innings, especially with the exception of that 4th inning and the 3-run inning for the Suns. But still, Christopoulos, he pitched pretty well other than that 4th inning. I mean, he gave up those 3 runs, settled himself back down, came out for the 5th inning, and got out of that one. And then Shaffer and Cormier came in and gave up another 3 runs. But still, a really nice pitcher's duel and a phenomenal job by all 3 pitchers. Make that 4 pitchers for the Suns coming in, and Morrison, Henry, McDowell, and Moran almost combining for the shutout, but couldn't quite get to it. But Morrison, just a phenomenal game by him. 6 innings pitched, only giving up 2 hits, and he had 5 strikeouts to go along with that. So Morrison just showing again why he is one of those all-star pitchers.
He's one of the best in the league right now. And going back to Evan Christopoulos, this is one of those games where wins and losses really don't show the validation of how you are as a pitcher. 5 innings pitched, 19 runs, 3 runs, all of them earned. That was in the 4th inning. Other than that, he was perfect minus a hit by pitch. Yep. You give away that 4th inning with those 3 runs off a single, an RBI single, and a 2-run homer. Other than that, he was gold. It was tough to see, and this is what you call, in all intents and purposes, the tough luck loss.
Yeah.
This is tough for him. He pitched phenomenal. Just it's his offense that failed them, and they really couldn't recover.
Yeah, and just looking over the final stat sheet right now, you mentioned how you can't really tell how good of a pitcher is with their wins and losses, and this is a perfect example of that because the Silver Knights left 12 men on base compared to just 3 left on base for the Suns. So a really, really good job of the Suns to get their runners in, and the Silver Knights weren't quite able to do it, but you can credit the Suns pitching staff to holding them on base and getting out of innings.
Yeah, that was real tough. We're going to go through a quick analysis of how the scoring went. And, well, it's rather quick. I already mentioned the bottom of the 4th. It was an RBI single for the Pittsfield Suns, and that was by Dan Baruch. Very next batter, Matt Valente, with a 2-run blast of a shot into deep right field. Then in the bottom of the 6th, and, well, came a little bit more offense. An RBI single, this one to Matt Malcolm, and Matt Valente coming again with not a homer, but a 2 RBI double. And then in the top of the 8th, a little bit of a mini rally as Luis Atilius, he just barely blooped a single out into left, which got rid of the shutout. But I think, honestly, I really do believe that's what Max McDowell needed, is don't need to worry about the shutout. You need to focus on the outing. You need to focus on the batters itself. Don't worry about underlying things. There's Nothing there. Oh, there's a shutout here. No, what he needed to do, I think he needed to give up that run to really put the pressure away from him. I think that's what really needed McDowell to really kick him back into high gear as he was starting to struggle a bit. But after that, he seemed to relax a little bit after that. But in the end of it, the Silver Knights, 1 run, 4 hits, no errors, and they left a total of, 10 men on base. That's quite a number. Excuse me. That's 12 men on base. For the Pittsfield Suns, they got 6 runs off 6 hits, no errors, and they left only 3 men on base. 1 in the first, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. That's an amazing line, and now we're going to look at for runners in scoring position. For the visiting Silver Knights, they only went 1 for 8, and that's how they got their 1 run. For the Pittsfield Suns, however, 3 for 6, including 4 runs. That's a pretty big margin compared to that 1 marker that the Silver Knights had. But that ends the ball game as a final score of 6-1. Getting the win for tonight's contest. And, well, guess who? Of course, he would get the win in this. John Morrison would be the victorious pitcher. As for Morrison on the year right now, Morrison now improves to 4-1. But for Evan Christopoulos, getting the tough luck loss, that was real tough for Christopoulos. He's now going to drop to an even 4-4. And as we mentioned, in his 9 starts where he went 4-3, 10 starts, he's now 4-4. Only 2 appearances where he did not have the decision. Really, the game matters by his pitching, and his pitching more or less alone. The player of the game for the Pittsfield Suns, come on, 4 RBI. Are you kidding me? Matt Valente going 2 for 4 with a 2-run jack, a 2-run double. Easily the player of the game, and of course, the pitcher of tonight's contest, again, John Morrison, was pretty much flawless, giving up only 2 hits across 6 innings and the quality start. He did walk 5. He also struck out 5 as he threw 98 pitches. So we won't see him pitch for, I believe, quite some time. And I believe the next time that he will be valid, if I have this correct, will be on Sunday. And the season finale as the Pittsfield Suns host the Westfield Starfires. If I do have that wrong, which I believe I do, he'll be pitching on Monday if the Suns do not have a first-round bye. But what's happening around the league, because the standings are very important now.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, the Rocks were starting to make a comeback. They put up 3 in the bottom of the 8th, but the Blues ended up putting up 1 in the top of the 9th, and they were unable to put up any in the bottom of the 9th. So the Rocks fell 7-4 to the Blues. So the Blues gain a game on the Rocks. The Suns gain a half a game on the Rocks. So now they're only 2 back of first place, which is now the Navigators. So the Navigators in sole possession of first place. The Rocks a half a game back. The Blues 1 game back. And then the Bravehearts and Suns just 2 games back. So 5 teams still in it with just a few games left to play in the season. It's going to be a tight race.
And even with this notion, it looks like Nashua is going to be a visiting team. They're 5.5 games out of first place. And with very, very little games being played left in the season, I mean, we're only a half week away from the postseason. It looks like they will be either the 5 or 6 seed. I'll get more into this on Friday. I'll give you a reasoning on that. But for tomorrow, the Pittsfield Suns, they garnish a much-needed day off. Tomorrow, the Pittsfield Suns, well, today's their last game in July, an off day tomorrow. The next time the Pittsfield Suns play will be on Thursday as they visit Muzzy Field in Bristol, Connecticut to take on the Bristol Blues. That will be a heavyweight contest and a crucial game when it comes to end of the season seeding for the playoffs. And the next time that the Pittsfield Suns are home, well, it'll be a tail end of a home and home. Pittsfield Suns on the road on Thursday against Bristol, at home against Bristol on Friday, and that will be the final fireworks Friday night, as that game is going to kick off at 6:30. But while we have the option and while we have the time to do so, to the both of you, your final thoughts on tonight's contest and your interning game here in the broadcast.
I mean, I just appreciate you allowing us to come on. This was so much fun. Really great league. Like we said, the sportsmanship, the compassion that these guys have for each other too in this summer league. It's a really awesome thing to see when you have that communication out on that field and everyone wants to be here working together. So it was amazing to be a part of it.
Yeah, again, just thank you for everything you've done for us, giving us this opportunity to come on. I know we haven't done a live broadcast in probably 3 or 4 months now since we've been in school. So adjusting off the rust a little bit and getting back into form so when we go back to school in the fall. So thank you for that. But yeah, like you said, once we got here, I mean, it just felt comfortable. I mean, the staff, the players, they're all joking around, having fun. The character's good. The sportsmanship is good. So this league is in good hands. And even better, we saw a really good game and a really good win by the Suns.
And as we see, talking about the sportsmanship and the camaraderie, if you look down to the right field picnic area, Pittsfield Suns and Nashua Silver Knights enjoying a post-game meal together. That's one of the main reasons why I love this league, is because the camaraderie, the sportsmanship, but also you got guys facing off against their college teammates, so you get a little bit of mini ribbing against that. And, of course, those said teammates, both of them really trying to improve, if not both, and, well, all of them in conjunction with this summer league. It's fantastic talent, fantastic attitude, and fantastic entertainment.
Absolutely.
I'd really like to thank both of you for coming on. As I said, a recap and your final thoughts on the game. I didn't realize it was going to be a big sappy amount of thank yous, but no. All jokes aside, I'm really glad to have you both on. I know, Tamar, you're mainly dabbling in TV, and this is your first radio broadcast.
Yes, if couldn't be told.
Not too shabby at all. Of course.
Thank you.
When it comes to coming up that ladder, there is a thing that I called, well, I did my first ball game. It's called shaky leg syndrome, just because you're nervous. Obviously, your legs are going to be shaking. You're going to be kicking them. Their nerves are going to be going. For you, it really didn't seem too out of place for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're used to the TV marking, and now even with the veil of the microphone, you didn't do too bad.
Well, I did not have bad partners to be with for the first time and propping me up, so I really appreciate it.
And Jacob, for you, you've practically been what is considered probably a paradox of my growing up. Starting in radio, now in TV, but now doing the color for this game. So you had a little bit more of a time to basically ride the bicycle once more, as the training wheels weren't there for you, Tamar. It really wasn't noticeable. For you, it's just like riding a bike. It seemed like for both of you, really a great broadcast on all ends. It really seemed that everything was flowing. And when it comes to broadcasting with new people, there's a thing called chemistry that necessarily isn't all the way there.
Yep.
Again, I couldn't figure this one out between game 1 or game 56. So congratulations to the both of you, too. I will get this out to you as some sort of file for sounding, so that way you can present that. But job well done.
Thank you.
Job well done.
Thank you. And you too.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. This ball game started at 6:38 p.m., ended at 9:17 for a game time total of 2 hours and 39 minutes. In front of a great crowd on hand to witness this big win for the Pittsfield Suns, defeating the Nashua Silver Knights by a score of 6-1. The next broadcast that we will have, again, the tail end of a home and home. Pittsfield Suns will have their final fireworks Friday as the Pittsfield Suns take on the Bristol Blues, the back end of a home and home. And that will be a game time of 6:30 and a pregame set for 6:15. So, ladies and gentlemen, after that entire pregame, during game, and postgame, that will do it for us. Alongside Tamar Scher and Jacob Vincent. For players, coaches, umpires, and fans, this is Billy Madewell signing off, saying thank you for tuning in to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Have yourself a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you all on Friday as the Suns face the Bristol Blues.
Thank you for listening to Pittsfield Suns Baseball on the Pittsfield Suns Baseball Network. Please join us next time for more exciting baseball action from Paul Dowd Field at historic Wacona Park. This play-by-play broadcast of Pittsfield Suns Baseball was a production of the Pittsfield Suns. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the expressed written consent of the Pittsfield Suns is strictly prohibited.